Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. We are very excited, of course, this week again. A real interesting, weird, kind of an American golden boy gone wrong story.
Yeah?
I like those. I like watching someone who has no business fuck up.
Yeah.
There's something about that, really. When you see it in their past, it's, it's like, well, yeah, the ghosts come back to haunt you. But when it's just no reason, that's what I like. That's a fall from grace right there.
Just selfish reasons.
That's what I'm saying. So we'll get into that very, very quickly. Just want to say, first of all, thank you for your reviews this week. If you haven't done it yet, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. It helps out the show a lot. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com for all of your needs, your small town murder needs as well. Listen to Small Town Murder if you're not. It's golden right now, Small Town Murder. It's going very well, so you got to listen to it. It's a good show, and you're going to enjoy it. We'll just put it that way. Also, listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie every Friday. But yeah, do that. Get all your merchandise, tickets to live shows. Looks like this late summer, fall schedule is going to work out, so get your tickets to live shows there. Patreon, if you want to be a Patreon person, you're going to get bonus stuff, another bonus episode next week for Crime and Sports, and a bunch of Small Town Murder stuff, and you get access to everything for the one donation, which is pretty cool. It's patreon.com/crimeandsports, and anything over the $5 level, you get access to all the bonus stuff.
Yes.
So enjoy all of that. And also over at PayPal, crimeinsports@gmail.com if you want to make a one-time donation and do all of that good shit. So that said, out of the way, let's get into this, Jimmy.
Right.
Let's dive into this.
Wonderful.
Let's do this.
Dive?
We're going to dive into this.
Okay.
Very specifically. We're diving into this because it's a diver in this episode. Yes. Fuck, I don't know. I'm trying over here. What do you want from me?
You're twisting and flipping.
What do I look like?
James.
Do I look like I write for the Olympics?
You're really flailing in this one.
Does it look like... I'm just trying to get in. I'm just trying not to make too big of a splash. That's all I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to blend in and ease right into the water there. And
all right.
So, this is one of those stories I like here. These golden boy gone wrong stories. And this is the most irony I've ever encountered in Crime and Sports. Great. This would be, I'm not going to give it away. I would give an analogy, but it's just going to give the whole thing away. So let's talk about Bruce Kimball.
Don't know him.
Okay, neither did I, because I don't know Olympians. Who cares? Especially ones from the 80s. But not to be confused with Bruce Campbell, the star of the Evil Dead movies. Okay. So don't do that. His nickname is the Comeback Kid.
All right,
and we'll find out why. Because half of his story is incredible. Half of his story is like this beautiful. It's like a fucking poem to human determination and a person's will and desire. And there could be like TV movies with swelling orchestral sounds of the while he, does his triumphant. That's how amazing it is. And then the second half of the story is like driving a 78 pickup truck with 3 wheels into a trailer. That's the second half of the
Diving
story.
alone is fucking incredible.
It's amazing.
Because it doesn't make any goddamn sense.
No.
How are you able to do that and then end up in a particular place that you pose that you need to be?
Control of your body is amazing that you need to have.
It's unbelievable.
So much body control.
You're not touching anything.
No, you're in the air and you have to.
Straight?
There's nothing to push off of. Gravity's fighting you the whole time. Gravity wants your head down because that's the heavier part of you.
It wants to slam your face into the ground
as hard as it possibly can.
And you are to.
They want you to wear your ass as a hat at the end of it, basically. That's
and you are to run off a concrete beam and then do some shit in the air that looks great.
And then end up
perpendicular,
perfectly without a splash.
How
in the
do you
water.
do it?
It takes balls too, because it looks dangerous to me. Like I look at that and I'm like, I don't think I want to get that high and dive into the pool.
No, it seems like if you do it even a little bit wrong,
it's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna hurt.
That's
bad.
brain damage.
Oh yeah, it's gonna hurt. If you land on your face or your stomach, you're gonna be in
this
deep.
It's worse than a Mike Tyson knockout.
Deep shit. Yeah. Now
you're gonna need a hospital.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, although I will say Rodney Dangerfield did make it look pretty easy in Back to School. I was like, I think I could pop off a triple Lindy, no problem right now. If I'm being honest, if Rodney can do it, he's not in great shape.
No.
I think I can I'm in better shape than Rodney. I think I could pull it off, but I don't know. He seemed to have skills.
They did a great job casting that movie because that guy is very passable as his son.
It is. I don't think I ever saw that kid in a movie again.
Christine.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He was before that. Though. Yeah. Then he was in that, and then never again.
Never again.
You don't lie, Jason. You don't lie to me. You lie to girls. It's the best line to me. You don't lie to me. You lie to girls. To tell your teenage son.
What a movie.
Yeah, it's funny shit. If you have not seen the classic Back to School, then you're missing shit. I don't know.
Anything with Rodney is the best.
Absolutely. So the comeback kid here, he's born June 11th, 1963 in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and he comes from a very successful family. And we'll talk about that briefly here. He has one brother and one sister. He's a family of three, and his sister Vicky is a diving coach to this day. She's like a prominent diving coach, coaches Olympians and shit like that. Also coaches at a high school as well. So she became successful in diving and really was in the coaching end of it as well. His brother is a guy named Jim Kimball, who's a drummer in several bands in the 80s and 90s. He was the drummer for bands the Jesus Lizard, which I remember that band. I remember hearing of them. Laughing Hyenas, Mule, some other.
I feel like Mule I've heard of.
Yeah, Mule was, I think, his biggest deal here. They said the Laughing Hyenas, though, were like a punk kind of a thing. And they left to form Mule, which was in the 90s, and I think that was a punk band as well. Punk, sort of, not really punk, but like a, loud, something loud.
Right. Ann Arbor, Michigan punk.
But yeah. So he's considered a successful drummer, though. He's been in all these bands that, I don't know, I guess had gigs. I don't know what success as a drummer.
I feel like anytime you're in a band, if you're being paid to play your music,
that's good.
It's a pretty good deal.
But you don't feel like that about comedy, though.
No.
He said that was the quickest no Jimmy's ever given. He didn't give it any thought.
I've been paid to do comedy, and not doing well.
Yeah,
that was not doing well.
It wasn't doing well. Yeah, you know how it is. Yeah, and also I've seen people get paid to do comedy who they didn't do well either. So it's like, well, if that guy's getting paid, then what's my pay worth?
Right, I should be making whatever he makes plus some. Probably hotel room.
Or he shouldn't be making any money at all. And we should keep this to Oh man,
so, keep this on a pay per performance.
Yeah, keep this on a need to laugh basis.
Right.
Like if you can't. It's
the only profession where, like, if you handed somebody a scalpel and were like, go in there, take that guy's appendix out.
Yeah.
If you couldn't do it, you don't get paid.
Well, there's a problem. You might get sued. Right. There's a lot of ramifications for it. In comedy, there's no guarantee.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
And if it doesn't work, they're like, try again tomorrow.
It's like somebody's trying a magic trick out for the first time, not at home, but in front of the crowd, and they're just like, eh?
And if it doesn't work, they're like, don't worry, there's another show in 2 hours. Try again.
That's what's fucked up about comedy.
We're going to pay you again.
Why not? We got there's no guarantee any of these idiots are funny, so what the hell? That's what's messed up. Like, if you're a magician, you can work out a magic trick at home and then go in front of an audience and go, look at this thing I've been practicing.
Right.
You can't do that in comedy.
No.
You can't practice your fucking jokes with no crowd because you don't know where the breaks are, where the rhythms are, where laughs are, where things are. You don't know if it's funny.
You don't know at all.
You go out there and you go, how about this? Huh? If you're cooking, you can like make some shit and eat it and try it.
Yeah.
And you know if it tastes terrible or not. Yeah. You don't know if your own stuff is funny. That's the horrible part of the best comics in the world. Their jokes are 50-50. Yeah. Like literally when they do new jokes, it's 50-50. Yeah. That's the best comics in the world. 50-50. Like still better than baseball, but tough.
It's hard.
Tough. It's music music is hard unless you make it, and then it's the easiest thing in the world for the rest of your life. Like I said, you can write a song on toilet paper while taking a shit for 3 minutes, and you make money off it for 40 years. Royalties, you can keep performing it over and over.
You fucking better perform it.
People will shout for it.
Yeah.
You can't go on stage. If you see like a comic, like an older comic who's a classic comic, maybe somewhere 2/3 into their set, they'll go, all right, which, I'll do a couple old jokes for you.
Jim Gaffigan will go,
Dom Herrera does
this week.
Exactly.
Right.
Dom Herrera will bring it up. Big Petey, Little Petey, fucking, things like that. Before the Cosby thing, I saw Cosby live, and he brought his last bit closer was the dentist thing from himself. Like, your classics, but you can't just go play all your old shit over and over again.
You'll be
make money off of it.
Yeah. Shut up. We heard it.
And nobody pays you every time they play your joke.
No.
Doesn't work.
You don't get your joke in a fucking Cadillac commercial.
No, and then you get a shitload of money. Good God. So, Bruce here, his dad is Dick Kimball.
No.
His mother's name is Gail. Dick Kimball is a famous guy in the diving world. Like, probably one of the most respected guys there are in the diving world. He was a champion in high school. He coached University of Michigan. We'll start out here. He was the Minnesota high school diving champion 4 straight years. All 4 years of high school. Wow. He was the state diving champion.
To senior year, he won every year.
Every year, 52 to 56.
Well, I mean, there's probably like 7 people.
I don't know who was diving. Yeah, it's like, I can't get in a pool.
Right.
The 2 weeks a year where the pool is warm enough. He's just the only guy with access to an indoor pool, maybe. We have no idea.
It's either gold or silver. There's 2 dudes that jump, and that's it.
Minnesota apparently had an AAU outdoor swimming championship team called the Rochester Rockets.
Wow.
Which is, okay.
They got like 10 minutes before that pool freezes again.
That's it. Get in, everybody.
Let's go. Start diving.
Pouring salt in it. It's going to be salty today. It's fine. Fuck, it's going to freeze.
I know it's cold. Hurry up.
Another bag.
Every time you're diving through thin ice.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
Every time the water gets thicker and thicker. Why is it thick and salty?
By the end, you're diving into a salty snow cone.
Yeah, you're diving into a fucking margarita rim. By the end of it, that's what the pool looks like.
Oh, Minnesota.
Oh boy, Minnesota. So he was the on that team. He graduated high school, spent a year at the University of Oklahoma for some reason, and then transferred to the University of Michigan. Again, he was a member of 3 NCAA champion swimming and diving teams at Michigan from 57 to 59. His dad's just a successful guy. Yeah, in 57 he won the NCAA championships in both the 1 meter and 3 meter springboard events. No fucking idea what those are.
I guess they're 1 meter and 9 meters high.
Probably. I'm going to give you we're not going to talk really at all about diving because I don't know shit about it.
3 meters, huh? I don't know what that was.
Well,
it was 1 meter and 3 meters?
It's 1 meter and the 3 meter.
Okay. It's got to be the height of the board.
I would think, but 3 feet? What the fuck is that? What kind of springing is that?
I mean,
a meter?
Those boards, James.
That's like my pool, though.
They're fucking
it's like a pool.
flingy,
like
though.
Your pool or your pool out there. A normal, like a person's pool. You know what I mean?
3 feet seems pretty high.
Not like a professional pool is what I'm getting at.
I don't know. I guess that means you've really got to tuck and roll and get your dive through.
I guess so. You got to have some spring in your legs and shoot yourself up.
But those boards are so fucking floppy.
They'll shoot you up
like
pretty
a
good.
Giant dick.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe that's the length of the board. That might be the length of the board.
Really?
If it's a 3-foot board, you'd get less spring. If it's one of those long boards, you can fucking shoot yourself to the other side of the pool. If it's a 9-foot diving board, I don't know.
I've never seen a 3-foot one. I don't think.
Who the fuck? I haven't either. I don't know anything about it. But Kimball, Dick here, had 2 first-place finishes, which accounted for like half of the college's points there, and they were the key to leading Michigan to a victory over Yale in the 57 NCAA championship.
It's a lot of white people jumping on springboards.
Wow! Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine the
Yale and Michigan.
You need sunglasses to walk in there because back then even the NBA was all white. Yeah. Imagine what diving against Yale would look like.
Outdoors.
Holy shit.
The sun combined with the fucking pigment of the people.
Oh, use sunglasses. You put them on. Wow.
You need the ones that
bright
you
out
tan
here.
with.
You know what I mean? You need cataract glasses. Like your grandmother just had surgery or some shit. One of those here. So So, Kimball got a bachelor's degree in 59, a master's degree in 1960. While he was there, his dad, Bruce's dad, Dick here, also competed on the gymnastics team.
Hell yeah.
This guy is which you would think it's the same contortions.
Yeah.
It's just one you're landing on your feet and the others you're landing the other direction. So it's interesting, though. He also, under coach Newt Loken,
hell yeah,
he won the national trampoline title. What the fuck? There's a national Okay.
Yeah.
Now, everybody out there, when your kid's like, I want a trampoline, you're like, no, it's stupid and you're going to hurt yourself. Someday, they could be national trampoline champion. Do you understand that?
They can go to college for trampoline.
You can. Well, you could then. I don't know if it's still out there. Then he won the Professional World Diving Championship in 1963, and he also finished as the runner-up at the World Acrobatic Diving Championships.
He's just an amazing contortion. He can spin himself a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing here. In the early '60s, he toured with Hobie Billingsley. Oh, it's not enough a part of the story for me to really look into who the fuck Hobie Billingsley is. But it sounds like somebody from an old cowboy show. You know that show. What was his name? The cowboy in the Hobie Billingsley. You remember? He played the sheriff. Sheriff Hobie.
I see him as a sailor.
Oh,
a very with a fucking cardigan around his neck. That kind of sailor.
But he's a big guy, though. I pictured him like Tugboat from WWF back in the day, with like a stripy shirt and a sailor hat on. Hobie Billingsley here. Good to see you. He's also a Big Ten diving coach at the time, and he also was in a, quote, comedy and acrobatic show of diving. I don't know how you could dive comedically. I don't understand.
Apart from landing on your fucking face.
That's what I mean. Hey, show's over, everybody. Dive off.
Wasn't it funny?
Splat. Ow. There we go. Huh?
But I'm ching.
Hold on. This guy's got there's a cannonball coming. Wait. Hey, all right. Everybody get their money's worth. Good. What the fuck? He took off time to coach also in 60 and 62. He took off time to serve in the U.S. State Department as goodwill ambassadors touring the world. Just like hey, these are nice guys.
Right.
Isn't the U.S. great? Look at him.
Here's a diver to shake your hand.
He dives funny.
Right.
Isn't that fun? Don't you like us more now? You don't want to start a war now, right? They gave over 1,000 performances on their 1962 World Tour. That's insane.
Yeah.
And also appeared on television, including on Ed Sullivan's show and other shows as well. And
it's like 3 shows a night, James.
Yeah, that's 3 shows a night.
The fuck?
Every fucking night. That's
4 to 10.
Weekends, they're probably doing an afternoon and probably 3 evening shows on a Saturday. They do a noon show and do a 4, 6, and 8.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. I don't know how long they take. It's a comedy show.
Yeah.
You know what? If you're just doing one dive, and that's hilarious, and that's the end of the show, maybe that's it.
You know what, though? There is a comedy dive show at Casa Bonita in Denver that's it's like a Mexican restaurant. If you've ever been to Casa Bonita,
do? Like, they shoot Mexican dudes out of cannons and shit?
Kinda. No, they have like...
and they make it like super racist.
It's actually like a jungle theme in that area.
See how much of fucking the cucaracha they can play before it hits the water.
Waterfall and somebody gets shot and then they do like a backflip dive off the waterfall and into the fucking pool.
Is that funny though?
I don't know. For kids, it's funny.
How is it funny?
There's like a fucking script that's funny.
Oh, there's somebody talking, and then there's like a like cartoon sound effects and shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like there's a girl, and then she likes a guy, and she likes this guy.
Oh, so there's a storyline.
Yeah, there's a storyline, and it's funny. If you're 8, it's fucking amazing.
The fuck is happening?
If you're in your 30s, it's garbage.
It sounds like Vince McMahon got into diving.
So it is.
We're going to have the storyline's going to be amazing. So your shirt's already off. Everyone's shirt's off. I love this sport.
And then you raise a little flag on your table for more sopapillas.
That's how it works, I think. Yeah. That means time for another sacrifice. Right. They shoot another poor guy out of a cannon. It's the dishwashers. They rotate them. Let's go, Jose, into the cannon.
As a kid, I always thought...
Not good, man. Not cool. Very racist, this whole thing.
The spray is fucking cold, too. So you're like, that water's freezing.
Yeah.
And that guy just jumped into it and his whole fucking clothes.
He's like, I don't know.
While I'm pushing a burrito down my throat.
What are you going to do? Yeah. He's like, I got to get back to the kitchen now. Sorry,
I gotta go make you more burritos, young man.
Sorry, I'm going to spit in them, though, because that sucked. That water was cold.
It is cold.
You're right. When Kimball and Hobie Billingsley performed at the 1962 annual swimming carnival at Yale.
Yeah.
The swimming carnival at Yale, Jimmie.
Yeah.
The Yale Swimming Carnival.
Carnival.
We're going there this year, aren't we? Aren't we playing there this year?
They don't
the
even
carnival?
just call it a meet. They say a fucking
It's a carnival, Jimmie. It's wonderful.
The carnival.
Carnival. It's like Rio, but with less filthy South Americans.
Right.
And
way less clothes.
Yeah, and way less clothes, or way more clothes in Yale.
I suppose,
In Brazil, no one has any clothes
right.
on. It's hot, and they're like, fuck it, look at our asses. Aren't they great?
We're going to have everything out except for our gross dicks.
Everyone here's got a nice ass. We're going to show you, okay? We're going to be hanging out. I think you're going to thank us for that. Now dance, fucker. So the Bridgeport Post reported in 62 at the swimming carnival that these two, Kimball and Billingsley, quote, two of the world's greatest divers. Between them, holders of scores of high board championships will be among the host of the talented performers. They are Dick Kimball and Hobie Billingsley, who have teamed together to form the world's foremost acrobatic and diving comedy team. Kimball is regarded as the world's greatest acrobatic diver. Okay. That's from there. They showed this 1960 account showed featuring a high diving from atop a 30-foot tower. Is what he would do to do.
That's high.
That's really high. That's
holy shit.
Crazy acrobatic shit. They do rhythmic swimming. I don't know how that's a skill.
I mean, all swimming is rhythmic.
I would assume. I guess like synchronized.
You fucking drown.
Yeah. You're gonna.
You stop with the rhythm.
You better get back into rhythm pretty quick. Fancy diving. I don't know what that would be. And then comedy acts. So there's that. Now, Bruce is born in 63 amongst all this shit. Yeah. This is when he was going for the State Department, touring the world, doing 1,000 shows, and then Bruce is coming right at that time period. Okay. A lot of stuff going on here. Now, Bruce is named after a guy named Bruce Harlan, who was his dad Dick's predecessor as the coach in the University of Michigan, who died in a diving accident.
Wow.
So it is dangerous.
He did not fit in the cup.
I think, the cup was a little small. Well, the problem was nobody moved the horse first. Right. That was the issue. He went right into the horse, and there was a problem. Otherwise, he could have made it.
He would have fit in the
cup. That's the thing. You got to get the horse out of the cup,
right.
Fill it back up with the thimble of water, and then wait for Dick to come flying down. Or Bruce Harlan, I should say.
So he died in a diving accident.
That's this Bruce Harlan guy who's kind of Dick's mentor.
Got it. And, he didn't get all the way around.
No.
Smashed his face into the pool.
Apparently so. I guess you can die in a diving accident.
Fuck yeah.
Which, I mean, if the pool's too shallow, there's a lot of ways to die in a diving accident. You can catch yourself on a board.
Yeah.
As we've seen, that's happened before to people. So in 1964, Dick Kimball was named coach of the U.S. Olympic diving team.
Really?
Yeah, after the old coach, Henry Chapman, had a heart attack and died.
It's a tragic-ass sport.
So everyone's dying, Jimmie. Wipe it clear. Let's go. New blood. Yeah. So, 64. His dad's now the Olympic coach. He's also a college coach. So lots of clout there. And Kimball, he predicted that the U.S. would do very well under his tutelage here. And in 1964, they won 3 gold medals and 8 of the 12 medals awarded at the Olympics under his tutelage, which ain't too shabby.
66%?
It's not bad. Yeah. He also went on to coach the U.S. Olympic diving teams in 1980, 1984, 1988, 1992.
Okay.
So Dick is...
He's a big deal in diving.
He's a big deal in diving, yeah.
He's the big dick of diving.
He's the big swinging comedic dick of diving. That's right. The acrobatic dick of diving. He contorts it like nobody else, Jimmie.
Amazing.
Contortion is his main skill. So the U.S. team, of course, boycotted in 1980 in Moscow, and so he didn't get to do anything there. But in 84 that was when they also won 8 of 12 medals under his tutelage. And we'll get into 84 because Bruce comes into that one. He also coached Michigan for 43 years, retiring in 2002.
Holy shit.
So, he's quite the...
That is impressive.
Absolutely. And he wanted his kids in the fucking pool ASAP. Like, swim, dive, it was all about that shit. When Bruce is a baby, the seat of his bathing suit, they gave, the ass of his bathing suit that they gave him, they had a special one made that said Olympic gold medalist 1984 on it. So,
wow.
I mean, that's
foreshadowing as fuck.
Talk about giving a kid a kidney gummy or, the Jennifer Capriati approach.
Right.
we've seen this before. This
is a problem.
How well does this work out, Todd Marinovich? You know what I'm saying? Like,
stop, Todd, stop. It's the cops.
Todd, we know it's you. Jesus Christ, Todd.
Don't make us run.
That's
Todd.
my favorite, Todd. When you're acting crazy and cops just show up and go, hey, Todd, come on. Like, you've done it too much.
First name basis.
Hands behind the back and just go, I got to get my life together. This is from this moment on. My life is different because I can't have every cop in town know my first name. Like, from a glance.
Yeah.
Not even. Is that?
That's a blur.
Second he got out of the car. Todd! Jesus Christ. It's fucking Todd again. It's like Reno 911 with their... It's Mike. Oh, Jesus. It's...
Terry.
Terry, yeah. It's Terry or Mike, the guy with the arrow in his fucking head. Yeah. Unreal. Terry. I love Terry. He's like such a dick as a comic. I know comics that know him, and
I know some pretty gross stories about him.
There's a lot of gross stories.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Terry is not that far.
Tterry's damn near doing an autobiography.
Yeah, it's basically, yeah. So if you run into Nick Swartzen, he will jerk you off in a tacos bathroom. For $3.
And tell the cops
allegedly
that he was just there washing his hands.
He was just washing his hands. He's like, there's no pubic hair in the tacos. It's just, I put pubic hair in this. I mean, no. Okay, so this is pushing your kid, though. He's a baby. This is like not even, he barely walks. Yeah. And he's 84 Olympic gold medalist. Path already done for him. That's weird.
Yeah.
My parents had no plans for me whatsoever.
None?
None. We hope he lives. We hope he'll survive into adulthood. That was it.
My mom couldn't believe I was there.
Yeah.
She's like, what the fuck?
No plans, no. It was just like, well, I don't know. Hopefully you'll figure something out, right? Like, that's how most people come up. Your parents, they might have an idea. I'd really like him to do this. I'd really like her to do this. Or, you know, I wish she would take after me and become this or whatever. But, you know, you drop subtle hints.
Yeah.
This is different. Right. This is a plan. Like a fucking he's ready to execute. Like,
did they plan his birth? Probably, right?
I don't know. That's not covered. We didn't
not discussed.
Well, if I ever run into his mom,
you
I'll
have to
ask
assume
her.
Though, because that was back in that time too, where you fuck, and then if kids happen, then you're like, what? Yeah, that's our plan.
Hey, what
we
do you think?
Fucked. Of course, there's going to be kids.
There's going to be kids.
And then that generation next, they fucked, and they were like, kids happen from this?
Shit! Oh my god! Yeah, they were surprised.
They were unbelievably blown away.
Surprised. Kids
My mother
now are
couldn't
surprised.
believe it.
Yeah, mine either. Really? Jesus Christ! How'd this happen?
My mom had like medical issues and went to have a hysterectomy, and she was pregnant then. It was a bet. It wasn't going to happen. But she was pregnant then. They had to terminate it because it was all fucked up.
Is that you?
No, almost.
Oh,
I was the one right before that.
Okay. You just got in under the last.
Right under the wire.
Right at the last call.
It was fucked up, man.
The next one came and said, sorry, we just did last call. You can't come in. No, I don't care if you have your ID. We just did last call.
Basically what happened, they hung it up in the tube or something.
Sorry. Last call. See the sign in the tube? Last call.
And that's what happened.
And you were in there slamming a few down before they shut the fucking doors.
I'm guzzling that kid's drinks.
Jesus Christ. Let's try to make this as offensive as possible. I love it. I love it. I don't even care. We're so damn delirious just with these shows, doing so many shows and all this.
It's so much.
I'm stuck in the house and I'm doing all this. I'm losing my fucking mind, so I don't care. So he's got Olympic gold medalist 84. He started diving when he was 6.
Really?
6. Jesus Christ. I don't know. I wonder if it was more diving or just his dad going, and just throwing him in the pool. Take him up to a high part and dropping him.
Yeah.
Try to aim your fucking hands downward.
Right. He's just up there holding him by his ankles going, hands down, son. Just here it comes.
Try not to flip backwards.
Close your mouth.
Let's do it. Yeah. Close your mouth. Let's go. So, but he was really good. At the age of 13 in 1977, he placed 14th at the, or 1976, he placed 14th at the Olympic trials.
Wow.
At the age of 13.
That's unbelievable.
Which is not good enough to make the team, but it shows everybody, holy shit, when this kid has pubic hair, he's going to be better. He's going to be amazing. When he starts to stink after gym class, then it's going to be something. He's going to be amazing.
Give him 3 to 4 years and a reason to shave his chest.
That's it. Yeah. When he starts being interested interested in sex with anybody. It's going to be interesting here. So he's known as a prodigy. Obviously, and his dad is Dick Kimball, and I mean this is to be expected. Right. And the fact that who his dad is and everything, everyone's like, oh, he's the next Olympic champion. Period. Obviously. Like that's obvious here. But Bruce was having a hard time with the whole thing. Bruce is very ultra insanely competitive, and a lot of that is because of his dad. His dad's nuts as far as competitive and perfection goes. Yeah. His daughter tells a story about how he was trying this dive one time, and he basically belly flopped like 5 times in a row. Fuck. And they were like, well, you think that's enough? And he was bright red and in pain, and he said, no, I have to get it right. And that was like the example of like, to your own detriment even, be insane. Yeah. Be insane for the craft.
My dad would be so disappointed if I quit now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how he feels. And so for Bruce, he has the same attitude. Mm-hmm. That either goes 2 ways. Either the kid becomes one of those people who's like, I don't give a fuck about anything, or they're very ultra competitive. And according to a former coach of Greg Louganis, the champion diver, one of his coaches said one of the meets when they saw young Bruce didn't come in first, and when he didn't, he would throw his runner-up medals. He'd just fucking throw them. He didn't even want them. He didn't care. He would get so mad. He'd just wing them across the room. Yeah, the one's no part of it.
He's just terrible loser.
Terrible loser, very perfectionist, angry at the world if he's not perfect, but otherwise considered a pretty mild guy. You know, I mean, he's a fucking. Think about it.
There's nothing mild about a man who throws runner-up shit.
But the second he leaves the pool, then it's like, hey, how's it going? Right. Yeah, like he's a fucking diver. Like he's not a real aggressive thing. Like, I mean, you have to have balls, but it's not like I'm going to punch that guy right in the face and then he's going to dive in a pool. That's not how it works. So, and it's one of those things of, we've talked about it a million times. Is it better for a father to, go away as soon as possible, or to, most cases, it's to, beat the living shit out of anyone with an arm's reach, whereas this, to overdo the Art Schleister, the Todd Marinovich, the Jennifer Capriati.
The difference between all of them and this one, though, is that his dad is an unbelievable achiever.
That's the other thing.
This is like if Michael Jordan's kid ever picked up a basketball, I'd be like, fuck are you doing, kid?
Well, he did. He quit college ball a couple of years ago. Yeah.
That's my point.
Because he wasn't. It's hard if you.
As soon as you touch the ball.
You can't be a seventh man if Michael Jordan's your dad. It's just you.
You can't do it.
It's tough. It's a tough thing.
Shitty.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer.
I can really show you how to make some money.
And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
It is. And that's the thing, too. A lot of our guys, their father was like almost made it or something. Like Marinovic's dad played in the NFL and was a coach, but he was never a big star.
Right.
Whereas his son was going to be the star. And like their kid is going to right that wrong that the world did to them.
I'm going to show them my seed has good ones.
Watch this. I couldn't do it myself, but you know what I did? I fucking shot myself into somebody else and made something even better. Look at that.
And this shit here, if you're the best at something, don't let your kid do it.
No.
Don't let them.
No.
It's going to be just depressing. It never happens.
But
the
they
best
look at
never
them
comes back.
as their own little jizz clone. That's the thing. Like, look what my jizz did. It made a clone.
That ego, man. It's something.
That's what they think. So, look, I made a little me, and I'm going to make him better than my fucking parents failed me. If only they would have pushed me like I'm going to push him, I would have been where he could be.
Yeah.
I feel like that's...
I guess the opposite is true, too, with the Mannings. I mean, he made people that are better than he ever was.
He made shit, 2 NFL quarterbacks. Another guy's a coach. He made some pretty good...
He made some amazing jizz.
Which is, that's not too shabby, but how often does that happen?
He needed somebody else's DNA to couple with his to make the amazing part.
It's true. I mean,
but if this guy finds something that couples with his DNA and makes something even better, that's frightening.
Yeah, I mean, like, where's Joe Montana's kid?
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't see anybody pushing out there. It's weird how it's just some people are... Yeah. Whatever, I don't know. It's and Archie raised them crazy like this. I mean, they were like little football quarterback robots from the time they were small. But some people, wondered if it was the best idea to have your father coach you, because it's a weird relationship that you might need a distance from your coach as far as that goes. It's too close otherwise. One of a diving colleague here said, quote, "I think Dick and Bruce have done a tremendous job, but I think it's real hard for Dick to say, Bruce, just mellow out, and you just can't handle being perfect 100% of the time." Yeah. So that's, he doesn't have, his father doesn't temper him at all, because his father's like, oh, good, have that attitude, because that's his attitude. Right. So it's, on a personal level, can be quite detrimental to people, obviously. Bruce, by the way, here in high school, he's, when he's fully grown too, he's 5'7", 135.
My man.
So, he's a Jimmie size guy.
Yeah. Same as these fella.
Yeah.
He's a bit skinnier.
I was going to say, I don't think 135.
That's not a beer drinking boy.
I don't think you've seen 135 since your sophomore year of high school, probably.
I graduated high school 120.
Okay, well, there you go.
Embarrassing?
That's fucking hilarious. That is funny. And
a stiff breeze, man. Forget
what the hell has happened, Jimmie? What's going on here?
I found beer after that.
I found beer. Let's see here. Now, quickly through his stuff here. In 1976, he finished 14th in the 10-meter platform. That was the trials that we talked about here. 78, he was a high school All-American as a freshman. Finished 7th in the 10-meter at the World Championship trials. Wow. So that's 2 years. He's 15 then. 79, he took first in the 1 and 3 meter springboards and the 10-meter platform at the Canadian Winter Nationals. You're diving in Canada in the winter? Yeah. That must be indoors.
That's balls.
Claimed he was second at the National Sports Festival and third at the Pan American Trials in the 10-meter. 1980, he finished 5th and 10th in the 10-meter and 3-meter at the Olympic Trials and captured the first of 6 USA senior national titles in the 10-meter. Wow, I don't know what the hell that means. In 1981, he made high school All-American for the 4th and straight year, so all 4 years of high school, he's an All-American. Swept all 3 events at the World Age Group Meet, 15 to 17-year-old. He's the best in that age in the world, apparently. Kept a perfect record in the 10-meter at the USA Age Group Nationals with 7 titles and 7 tries.
I want to know what this looks like.
To be successful as a kid like this?
And that good at diving. I want to stand by a pool and go, that was great? That was the one?
As a teenager. Imagine just being successful at anything as a teenager. We talk about this sometimes. It's like, I can't imagine it. As a teenager, I was fucking worthless to the outside world. I was good at rolling blunts.
On a level that adults look at you and go, you're going to be somebody.
Yeah, no one thought anything. No.
God, no.
No one thought I was going to be anything. No. They were like, oh, man, why'd you do this to yourself? How'd you end up here? Yeah. Why are you such a fuck up?
A lot of adults looked at me and were like, it's going to be expensive on the taxpayers to house you at some point.
Yeah, I gotta.
This is not going to go well.
You don't have a lot of plans, do you? I was like, no, I really don't.
A teacher genuinely asked me, what the fuck do you think happens after high school?
Yeah.
And I was stumped, and I had no idea what to answer. And I was like, I don't know.
What do you think happened?
I don't care. I mean, I didn't.
Well, at the
I guess
time,
I'll get a job. But he was telling me, look, you're a fuck up.
He's asking you to go big picture.
Right.
Which,
he's making me go, like, what is your plan? Like, where are you going to go?
I have no plan whatsoever.
Like, Jesus. As long as I get another meal,
I don't know,
I'm all
jerk
right.
off for a while.
I'm a pizza place. I steal pizzas.
So there's that. That seems to go pretty well for now.
Doing fine.
I don't know. My mom's letting me live there. So that's good. Planning on gaining about 60 pounds in the next 15 years. I got that going for me.
Wait till I'm 39.
You wait till that.
Mr. Hunter, you're going to be blown away by how fat I can get.
It's awesome. Oh, Christ. So Bruce, though, very successful, unlike us, who were very unsuccessful here. 1981, he, like I said, made all that stuff, did well, 7th in 7 tries. In the fall of 1981, he is off to the University of Michigan for his freshman year. Okay. So this is like just...
Jesus.
Scholarship.
Yeah.
His dad's the coach.
Yeah.
You know, he is just on a what are those things? Slip and slide.
Yeah.
He's on a slip and slide to the Olympics.
To the
flying
line.
Just go on a toboggan to the Olympics. Fly into the Olympics here. His life really can't get much better than now, but it will. Don't worry. So he's into the University of Michigan, fall of 1981. October 18th, 1981 comes around. It's 2:45 a.m., which, as we know from Crime and Sports, whenever we say anything a.m., it's a bad sign.
Unless it's 7 a.m. and he's waking up from a great night's sleep.
A lot of times, 7 a.m. means they're still fucked up from the night before, so that's a bad thing also. Like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
If you hear anything other than that, it's bad times.
Yeah.
So they might have gotten up by 11. So Kimball, Bruce, is going home after a party. He is with another diver, a guy named Robert Cragg, and they're in Cragg's BMW. These are... Wow.
What a foreign life.
Wow. Rich kid with a success. We're going to college. Let's
Free
go
ride to college.
Indoor pools, BMWs. I don't know.
Leaving a party where he was probably the guest of honor.
Oh,
everybody kissed his ass. It was the Kimball party.
Yeah. He probably got 3 blowjobs at that party.
Kimball-a-palooza.
3. Yeah. Kimball-palooza, he shows up.
Yeah.
It was probably Kimball-blowjob-a-palooza. Show up. Everyone wants to blow you. It was probably right on the invitation.
Yeah.
There was balloons saying, take it out. Whip it out, Bruce. Can't wait to suck it.
It's been in the chlorine. We know it's clean as fuck.
The store doesn't sell a lot of the can't wait to suck it balloons. So when you come in and buy some, they're pretty fucking excited. They're like, oh, these have been in inventory for 5 years. No one wants the can't wait to suck it.
Oh, we hope they're still good.
But
this is why we get the Mylar ones, because the rubber ones just disintegrate.
They would have popped as soon as we put air in them. The Mylar ones, though,
they hold it.
Yeah, and plus you can put a better picture of a cock behind it at that point too, so you can really see it.
Get them in dick shapes.
Dick shapes, any shape you want. You can put balls with hair on them. It's great. So he's going home in this BMW, 2:45 in the morning.
Fresh out of jizz.
I mean, he is drained.
Yeah.
His friend said, "Hey, Bruce," and he went, and turned his head slowly. What? Water. So they're driving home, and it's in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where both of their families live. It is at that point when oh boy, this is rough too. When a van driving the opposite direction crosses the double yellow line.
Oh, fuck.
And slams into the BMW. Mm-hmm. So they're both driving full speed, and this is a drunk driver in a van in the other car. Head-on collision with them. The impact was so... Kimball was in the passenger side, and apparently that took the brunt of the impact, the way the guy went across the line.
Oh, he went all the way over.
Yeah. The impact was so strong that it drove the car... It goes from, 40 miles an hour in one direction to being shot 145 feet backwards.
Wow.
That's the fucking impact. Yeah. That's how fast that other, much faster, and also how much bigger of a vehicle it was.
Also, rich people, you want a BMW or you want a van?
Well, speed and mass, physics-wise, that's, so there you go. Two things can't occupy the same space. One's going to end up 145 feet fucking backwards, which is a bit of a problem, I would say, to say the least here. So, this is an issue. Now, Bruce is obviously hurt.
Fucked up.
Badly.
Yeah.
Every bone in his face is broken.
Yeah.
His skull is fractured. Fuck. He has a depression fracture in his skull. His spleen is ruptured, has to be removed. His liver's lacerated. Loses the hearing in his right ear. His legs are fucked up. I mean, he is fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
His body is mush. I mean, you could have just thrown him off the top of a building and he, it would have been the same type of injuries. Like, just
unbelievable.
Absolute destruction of this person's body. His mother, Gail, said she was positive he was going to die in the emergency room. He was an absolute mess. He underwent as soon as they got him to the hospital, he had 10 hours of surgery. Mm-hmm. And then a couple days later had to have 14 more hours of surgery. So, I mean, it was, pretty wild here. Finally, he gains consciousness, which is good. Yeah. He gains consciousness, and the first thing he says, literally opens his eyes, and his dad's there, and he's telling him when can I get back in the pool? When can I get diving? Yeah. That's the first thing he's thinking about. He doesn't even have a face, or, he's destroyed.
You're much less aerodynamic now, son.
That's going to be an issue. Bruce's former high school coach said, quote, his recovery was a combination of both him and Dick never giving up. I never would have made it. And Bruce said later on, I never would have made it without my dad. He spent every night in the hospital with me. Wow. So, yeah, just saying. You're going to dive better.
Right.
Whispering in his ear.
Right.
Better diving. Straighter.
Right.
Into the water. No splash. No splash. Huh? What? His dad's like, oh, nothing. He's reading a magazine. I wasn't saying anything.
He's over here reading Swimmer Digest.
It's okay. He's reading Diver Weekly over here. It's pretty sweet. So, this is obviously horrible. He almost bled to death. His face hit the dashboard. That's what destroyed his face. Obviously. Also, his left leg is broken as well, which is bad for diving. Mm-hmm. So not real good here. They had to have all sorts of reconstructive surgery for his face, obviously, because his face was just never was the same. I mean, they got mashed. Terrible stuff here. But his mom said that when he came around, they knew that he was going to be okay, because they said he might have brain damage. He hit his head really hard, and we don't know how this is going to recover. And they said once he regained consciousness, he was coming around. He was around for a few days, and his mom said, quote, he wrote a dirty joke for one of the nurses. That's when we knew he didn't have brain damage.
He wrote? Hold on.
He made a pass at one of the nurses, is what that means.
Right.
You can call it a dirty joke.
Right.
He made a sexual advance at one of the nurses. We said, no, he doesn't have brain damage. His dick works anyway. I don't know.
He's sexually harassing people, so that's
normal.
Working out.
That's normal, right?
That's my boy.
That's my boy. In the 80s, that's how you could tell if someone was feeling okay. Right. Oh, good. He's up and around. He's eating. He's drinking. He's sexually harassing.
Right.
It's good.
Trying to finger people against their will.
That's good.
He's doing it.
He right in my butthole. But I let him do it because I'm happy. I just let him. So what? I'm not a bad person. He's up and around. I'm happy for him. So his mother also said that his face was, quote, mush. Mm-hmm. That's not how you want your face to be told, to be described. It took 2 reconstructions to put his face back together. Wow. Plastic surgery and everything like that. He's been IV fed this whole time too in the hospital. Not a great thing. When he comes home from the hospital, he weighs 107 pounds.
Ooh-wee.
Oof, that is thin. And he comes home a little over a month after the accident. Shit. So his whole future is in complete
limbo and jeopardy.
Up in the air, and through no fault of his own.
No,
he didn't do anything. He was out. It's fine to be out. You didn't do anything wrong. Some drunk asshole fucking plowed into him. So you got to feel bad for a guy like this. It's a rough thing here. So he is in casts and on crutches until the next April. So from October to April, this is, tough stuff for here. Tough stuff for him. In late May, he begins diving again. So he starts diving, which is pretty impressive. It's like 7 months after the accident. He's putting his face that's been torn to shreds into a pool. I mean, that's dangerous, man. He's
chancing fucking up a lot of healing.
Yeah, his skull, his face, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's got a soft spot again.
Yeah, he's like an infant.
Yeah.
I want to watch your thumb around him. That's what you do if he tries to put it in your butthole.
You flick it?
Yeah, you give him a thumb right back. Right in his soft spot. So he ends up diving and diving. He ends up 6 weeks after he starts diving again. He ends up at the Olympic Festival diving in a competition already.
Carnivals, festivals.
Carnival.
Yeah.
Where he is in this festival, he ends up being second to Greg Louganis in this particular Olympic festival. And Louganis said that they had the little victory stand. Louganis pulled him up to the top of it and said that Bruce is the real winner. Is what he told everybody, because it's amazing that he's even diving. Yeah. He said Bruce is the real. It's like incredible that
what a guy
he couldn't walk 2 months ago and now he's second place and It's pretty fucking impressive,
Look at that soft spot.
Not too shabby, but watch his head. Watch his head. Don't touch it. Just let him leave his hat on.
He's got a soft spot, and I got a soft spot for that.
That's perfect. Good shit. So, after that, everybody called him the comeback kid. He was the comeback kid.
All right.
Everybody, that was just his name. Whenever they'd say, Olympics, it's this, he was the comeback kid's coming to there. They didn't even know his name anymore. That's all he was. 82, 83 through here. He actually beats Louganis in the United States Outdoor Platform Diving Championships, and every competition he's in the top 3. He's right up there. Awesome. He's kicking ass. He then won the pre-Olympic trials in Los Angeles that year and placed second behind Louganis in Indianapolis, where I always think of swimming. Yeah, in Minneapolis and Indianapolis. In the 1983 National Sports Festival, the World Cup in Woodlands, Texas, and the Pan American Games in Caracas, Venezuela.
They're all impressive sounding.
Yeah, that one was Louganis beat him on the final dive.
Okay.
So,
came down to the wire.
Came down to the last dive here.
That's exciting.
It's crazy shit. So this brings us to the 84 Olympics. Now, the 84 Olympics takes place in Los Angeles.
Really?
Yeah, it was the LA Olympics, which is hilarious for a couple of reasons. Nobody else wanted it.
No?
There was only 2 serious bids for the 84 Summer Games.
Where were they?
Los Angeles, and I'll give you a guess of any other city in the world, and you won't get it right. It's not in the United States.
North Korea.
Tehran, very close. Tehran and Los Angeles. Now, Tehran, this was right after the hostage thing and all that.
This is
not the friendliest place to have
not a tourism friendly.
No, not everyone wants to go to Tehran in 1984. That's not the best place to be.
Right.
Literally, the Iron Sheik was the biggest villain in the country as a wrestler at that point. So, not okay. So they made bids, and then they won. Los Angeles was a finalist for the Olympics in 78, and the all this sort of shit there. And then in 84, they decided to give it to Los Angeles instead of Tehran, because for obvious reasons. 84, obviously.
We'd like an audience.
We'd like people to come. That's all. So they tried in 76 and 80 to be with the Olympics. I guess the 84 Olympics here, Los Angeles, this was like one of the last profitable Olympics also. We'll talk about that in a second. It was in California. The official mascot, I remember we did that last time, of this one
really?
Is,
oh God,
there he is,
what
Jimmie.
Is it?
Sam the Olympic Eagle.
It's okay. It's not bad.
It's just the corniest.
It's stupid.
It's an eagle with an Uncle Sam hat and a big, red and white striped bow tie.
It's Uncle Sam fucked a cartoon.
Fucked a cartoon eagle.
Right.
Yeah, and
it's
told
awful.
you not to pollute the wetlands or some shit. Yeah. So the 84 games were boycotted by the Eastern Bloc countries, though. There was no Russia, no Soviet Union, East Germany, none of that shit was there in 84.
Well, they weren't going to win anyway.
No, it made it a little easier to win with them not there, which was nice. I remember Mark McGuire was on the baseball team this year.
No kidding.
In 84. Okay. Yes, he was. And this was like the year Mary Lou Retton became a huge star. I remember just her on the Wheaties boxes with her fucking bowl cut.
Yeah. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
Well, the 80 Olympics, the U.S. boycotted because that was in Moscow, and then we had the 84 here, and so they boycotted. So it was just a tit for tat.
Was it Mary Lou Retton, or it was Carrie Strug that broke something, right?
I think so.
I think she broke something, like a leg. Like
one of them, limping. Still landed it.
Right. And then like crying and fanning herself. And it was a moment.
So what? Your leg's broken. Jesus.
This is a big deal for her.
You thinks nobody ever broke a leg and won a gold at the same time, you fucking crybaby.
But she stuck the landing.
Yeah, that's amazing, too.
And she couldn't get out of the mat because the fucking bone was stuck through it.
Shit. That's awesome. So the fuck, man. Also, Iran and Libya chose to boycott the games this year.
You weren't going to win either.
No. Romania is the only Eastern Bloc country that chose to attend the games here in '84. U.S. won the most gold and overall medals, followed by Romania and West Germany. So there you go. Now it's the most financially successful modern Olympics. They generated $250 million in profit from this Olympic. Nowadays it's just a huge money loser. Here, as we'll talk about here for very briefly. Basically, the cost to put the Olympics on in '84 in adjusted for inflation is about $719 million. Okay. That's amazing. Compared to the 2016 Rio is $4.6 billion.
That makes sense.
Beijing, $44 billion. Yeah. And Sochi, $51 billion.
Really?
$51 billion with a fucking B.
Wow.
Billion.
That's why it's a money loser.
Yeah, because they don't have, fucking Russia doesn't have infrastructure. They had to build a town.
Right.
They had to invent a place for this. They didn't have this shit out there. It's in the middle of nowhere. $51 billion. That's insane.
Wow.
Think about what you could do with that's nuts, man.
LA did it for 900.
LA did it for not even $800 million, which is pretty incredible, honestly. It's not bad.
But there were no fucking drones spelling out countries and flags. And
no,
remember that?
It was
from
whatever
China?
the equivalent was.
That was fucking amazing.
That was, but that's not what cost money. The cost was in building a fucking city. They had to build sewers and they had to, I mean, you can't just take an untouched piece of land and put a city there to be ready in 3 months.
Tomorrow.
Good luck. You know what I mean? Everything. Nothing's
built. The technology
built.
that they did, though, was incredible.
Yeah, they did some cool shit there. Now, he, during this Olympics, this actually pretty interesting here. Greg Louganis ends up being the gold medal winner in diving. He had like he won every fucking competition. It was insane. And then he, of course, had HIV. Right. And that all happened.
Did he have it then?
Yes.
He did?
And he knew he had it then and was competing anyway.
Getting in that pool.
And he said later on that he felt bad because he didn't even think about like that he could have been. He's like, I guess I could have. I guess I could have cut myself open.
Right.
And who knows?
In that village when I was fucking everybody.
That's the other thing. Well, hopefully he knew not to do that. So we talked about on the last week on Hope Solo talking about all the fucking that goes on out in the open. Fucking,
it's insane.
There's so much fucking. These people are like exhausted.
They run out of condoms.
It's international fucking too. Imagine the accents going on. Imagine just some guy from Spain romancing some Danish chick, like Ken Patera there, and imagine that going back and forth.
The nice part is that no transitions into every language, so that's
no is good. Yeah.
I don't know if she said yes, but she certainly didn't say no.
She said maybe. That's what they're all saying.
She said, "Pull it out." And I'll tell you.
That's the only thing. That's why I think they were trying to hook up with people from other countries who were like, I can't tell if they're saying no or not. They're all rapists at the Olympics, is what we're saying. All rapist Olympians. Yeah. It's fucking.
Not all rapists are athletes, but all athletes are rapists.
Pretty much. The Italian team singing opera as they rape.
Yeah,
that's what I would like. Raping people. Don't rape anybody.
Don't do that ever.
We're just assuming that this happened 35 years ago. And,
it had to be way worse then.
I'm sure it was. Yeah, because it was considered okay to make a sexual pass at the nurse in front of your mom was considered. Hey, he's feeling better. So yeah,
that's a sign of healing.
It was a different environment back then. I'm going to feel like China had a diver, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't look over all these divers, but China, this name popped out at me because it sounds like a racist made up name from like an old cartoon or something.
Yeah.
His name is Li Hongping. Hongping sounds like a made up racist name that somebody would give a Chinese character in the 70s.
Or somebody would
What you doing there, Hongping?
Somebody put that name in the donations list so that to try to make me sound like an asshole.
Exactly. Hongping. Li Hongping. And Li is L-I.
Yeah.
Li Hongping. So, old Hongping there. But Greg finishes with a silver medal behind Greg Louganis, which there's really no shame in finishing behind Louganis at this point. He was at the top of his game and killing everybody, quite figuratively and literally.
I would hope that I would finish before him.
You want to finish before him and get away from him before he finishes.
You don't want to follow him ever.
You don't want to follow him into the pool. Can I go first? Is this properly chlorinated?
Yeah. Did we shock this?
Yeah, no, this is sad shit what happened to Louganis.
It's horrible.
It's terrible shit, man. That's very fucking sad. So, anyway, he wins a silver medal, Bruce does, and this is a crazy accomplishment, obviously. He was put back together less than 3 years ago, and now he's winning a silver medal. He's the comeback kid like a motherfucker. I mean, he got more attention out of this than Louganis did for winning.
Right.
And he really did. Like Bruce, he became a huge national hero for winning a silver medal, which is crazy. You know, the world is his oyster at this point. Grace.
Yeah.
That's grace, I would say. Coming back from that shit, ending up.
How do you do it?
It's wild. Silver medal. That's grace. It's grace. He's also, here's another thing I don't know how he does. He's bad at driving. I feel like maybe this guy should get rides places or something because he's not good at it.
Well, when he got a ride someplace, it didn't work out very well
Maybe a professional ride.
Yeah.
Give him like a limo or
in the back of a long black car.
An Uber Black or something he needs, whatever the 84 equivalent of that is he needs. Because between 83 and 86, he receives at least 6 citations for speeding, disobeying traffic signs, improper passing, moving violations that are aggressive moving violations, basically. It's showing aggression in the road. So much so that by 1986, his license is actually suspended for a year.
Wow.
So, yeah, his Michigan driver's license is suspended for a year. So
I drive like a fucking jerk.
That's
James.
what I mean.
I've never had it taken away.
Can you imagine, like, what? And you're not a national fucking hero either. You're not the comeback kid on the cover of People magazine.
How bad? That's how many
gotta
tickets
be a
he
terrible
got.
driver.
How many did he get out of?
That's what I'm saying. How many they were like, holy shit, it's Bruce Kimball. Look at you. Wow, your face looks great. Great job. Very little splash.
The dimple's almost gone.
Louganis didn't give you any of the no, okay. And then that's
home.
it.
Get out of here.
Get on. Get back to the pool, big guy. That's
I'll
what
make
I
it
mean.
up on the next guy.
Think about that.
Right.
How much fucking bad driving.
He's just he's an asshole behind the wheel.
He is. He's an absolute asshole behind the wheel. Also, at this point, he's engaged. He gets a fiance, and he's trying to start to put his life together here. Michigan reinstates his driver's license 9 months later, mid 1987. He is allowed to drive again. And that's unfortunate, let's just say, because August 1st, 1988, he has a bit of a problem behind the wheel. He and his friends, he's with a friend of his and his fiance, and they were at a party. They've had a few.
Oh, no.
Been tipping a couple back. Here, it's 10:45 p.m. He's on his way to drop off his friend Chuck Wade off at this guy's home in Brandon, Florida. They're down in Florida. I guess he turned onto Culbreth Road and was going too fast and lost control of his car at this point. Missed the driveway he was supposed to go on. He's driving a silver Mazda RX-7.
Hell yeah.
Going approximately 70 to 90 miles an hour in a 35 mile an hour residential zone.
That's how he lost control.
Yeah, that's why
we figured it out.
There's a reason why it's 35 there. It's because if you go 70, you might not be able to keep control of your fucking vehicle, you dumb shit. Don't go twice the speed limit.
They don't stay on the road when you go that fast.
No, it's real, especially an RX-7, those little fucking tiny RX. Remember with the longer hood
long
and the
front end?
Yeah, that thing is going out of control like a bitch. So, the problem is at the end of this road, it's a dead end that's like kind of a field. And in this field, it's known as the spot. Okay, to the local high school kids because they hang out there.
Oh, no.
This is where the local high school kids gather and, drink beers and bullshit and what are we going to do tonight? Every fucking town has a spot where groups of kids congregate, sit on their cars and decide that they're going to go sit in the Denny's parking lot for an hour and they're going to go over here. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Where they contemplate the next place they're going to loiter and pollute.
They're going to go sit,
Right.
Or are we going to go sit and smoke next?
Right.
Perfect. Great. Can I get hash browns there? Even better. Love to fucking go there.
There's no hash browns here, so let's go there.
Let's go there. And when they're done at Denny's, they're like, IHOP? Cool. Let's go there, I guess.
Still open.
They'll let us smoke for a long time, right? Sure. You could just buy coffee and smoke.
If you order some mozzarella sticks, they have to let us sit. We're not loitering.
You can order an 85-cent coffee back then, and they'd let you sit there for the rest of the day.
And smoke.
You could move in. You could just smoke 3 packs of cigarettes and move your grandmother in her hospital bed next to the table, and they'd be like, that's fine.
Refills on that coffee.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming, sweetheart. 85 cents.
I got 2 packs left.
Yeah, I'm going to smoke them. I'm planning on it. So at the spot this particular evening, there was a crowd of about 30 people, 30 young people hanging out there. Kimball's car is out of control and plows through all of it.
Oh, my God.
At 75 miles an hour is what they estimated while he was going through this. The trail he left is 380 feet from the beginning to the stop of it when they got to the grass.
With his foot on the brake the whole time.
380 feet of going through a crowd, basically. This is glass, you name it. Yeah. It's a cannonball sending it through a thing like that.
No hash browns.
No hash browns on the other end of this party here. These 2 young men here, Robert Bedell and Kevin Gossick. Bedell is 19 years old. Kevin is 16 years old. Are killed at the scene. Are fucking killed by this shit.
Yeah.
An 18-year-old's girl's leg is crushed to the point where it needs to be amputated.
Oh my God.
And a 16-year-old boy's leg is hanging off and needs to be reattached. 4 other people are injured in this mess as well as
untold damage.
It looked like the sheriff that came, or Ken Garrison of the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office said, quote, "The last time I saw anything that looked like this was in Vietnam."
Wow.
That's the kind of scene it was. Just carnage.
Yeah.
Fucking carnage, man. Scattered, because kids were scattered,
dead
thrown,
bodies, James.
Literally dead kids. Someone's leg is hanging off. This is insanity. And it was just a quiet street. They're drinking at night, hanging out, or they're hanging out at night. The kids tipping back a beer or whatever. And just out of nowhere, here comes this car. There's no way to get out of the way. Wow. You don't expect this guy to drive 75 miles an hour. It's not like he can't see that that's not a road.
Right.
So it's, the witnesses said some of the kids were like sitting on car hoods and some of them were standing around, just, all that.
Oh, God, I could see it already, how they lost a leg.
And they looked and, crushed against the car.
Oh, Jesus, James.
They also said, they said that the car sped up around the corner when it came. So he actually hit the gas going around the corner and then lost control. They said that there was sparks flying from the grinding metal. And so there was sparks and people and blood. And it was like about as traumatic a thing as you could imagine, I'm sure. Bodies being tossed all over the place because some people were tossed and not hurt.
Yeah.
Because that happens too.
Right.
Sometimes you get lucky. One of the witnesses said, quote, "I just knew the car wasn't going to stop. The situation was complete panic. I was freaking out." Yeah, I guess so. One of the kids here, Raymond Kirker, who's 16, was listed in fair condition after surgeons reattached his leg. That was basically severed in the accident. They reattached it. Kimball and both of his passengers, who are Colleen Cokie Smith, who is also a diver, and his fiance and his friend here, were unhurt. They were fine.
Of course.
Yeah, what the fuck? They just plowed into a bunch of people. That doesn't hurt at all. So now think about this scene. Think about you plowing all these people, and when the car finally comes to a stop.
Yeah. Now you
holy
gotta get out.
Shit. Yeah, now you have to get out and you see what's going on. You have left a trail and there's screaming and fucking carnage. You have to feel, I don't know, I don't even know can't even imagine what that would feel like. So he got out of the car, and all the witnesses said he did this, got out of the car and looked around, fell to his knees and pounded his fists against the ground and was sobbing. Let's do it in their own words of what he was sobbing. It's a very short one, but it's very tough. He needs it in their own words. Let's do this. Holy shit. This is incredible here. In their own words, quote, "Why me? Why me? Why did this have to happen to me?"
Oh, no. You mean them?
End of it. Why me?
Wow.
Me.
Yeah.
There, people with their legs are hanging off.
There's 2 dead bodies.
There's 2 dead bodies. Not to mention, if anybody would fucking understand being on the other end of this that might be able to empathize, maybe it's this asshole.
Yeah.
Like, how much irony can you fucking have? Like,
I mean, it did happen to you once.
It's the exact same thing.
Now you're doing it to somebody else. How could you have that happen to you and then get behind the wheel?
Doesn't that make your brain just fucking start smoking a little and melting and shit? Where you're like, what the fuck is happening? Why me? Why me? The police show up, obviously. They smell alcohol on his breath. Of course. Not great. They search his car and found 8 empty beer cans in there. So, for 3 people, and they came from a party. Yeah. He said to the cops, he admits to them that he'd been drinking on and off for about 6 hours, but said he wasn't intoxicated. He goes, I had a beer here, a beer there. You know how it goes over the course of the day. I'm not drunk. And he said, I wasn't going anywhere near 70 miles an hour, and I'm not drunk. Problem is, the science and the skids and all that said I'm going about 75 miles an hour, and the blood alcohol test registers a 0.20.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is really fucking drunk.
It's hammered.
That's not even a little drunk. That is, that's more than twice the legal limit nowadays.
It's drinking hard.
You're fucked up.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't be driving. And you especially shouldn't be driving 70 miles an hour through a residential neighborhood. Now, people who knew him and knew the divers said that they were all kind of notorious for being big drinkers and big partiers. All the Olympians are, man. Yeah. And it's amazing, too, because they're so young and in such great shape. When you're an athlete of that caliber, you can fuck your body up one night and it will bounce right back. They're in such amazing shape. You can party and it doesn't really affect you till you're 30. Right. So,
it'll come around.
It'll come around.
It's not yet.
When you're a 22-year-old world-class athlete, you can get away with a lot with your body, man, and you can make it bounce back one day of working out, and you'll be great. Right. So,
and you understand your body and what affects it more than just about anybody, which is shocking that they can get themselves this goddamn drunk, knowing full well what this amount of alcohol is going to do to them.
He knows, and he knows he shouldn't be behind the wheel, and he's a fucking 135 pounds, too. How much can you put away?
Oh, God.
So one of his old friends said, quote, I don't know why his father didn't check him into a detox a long time ago. Why his father didn't? I don't know, because he's an adult at this point. He's 23 years old. He can check himself into a fucking detox. But I think he means from his teen years. Right. Apparently, Bruce has been a notoriously huge party guy and drinker, especially since then. Absolutely. And especially now, not only is he drinking, but for the last 2.5 years, he's been, about 4.5 years from 88, he's been hooked on the painkillers.
Oh, no.
Hardcore after his accident.
Yeah.
That's how you get hooked on painkillers. I mean, if you have an accident like that, you're going to be taking something for a while. Oh, yeah. Reconstructive face surgeries, fractured skull, crushed leg.
Bolts in your leg.
Lacerated liver.
Oh, that alone.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, man. To put you back together, it's going to hurt. Yeah. So I know he was, supposed to be on heavy doses of this stuff for months and months and months, but he couldn't get off of it. So you add drinking to this. It's amazing he was able to do anything with the diving while he was drinking and taking all these pills. But that was a huge problem for him there. Now, the kids who died, obviously, the Bedell young man there, his dad said, quote, he was an outgoing, happy-go-lucky kid. We were always proud of him, but so many people have told us things we didn't know about, how he lightened up their lives. Those things have carried us through. That's the 19-year-old, by the way. Then he also said, the father, quote, his car ended up more than 300 feet from the point of impact. 300 feet.
From the point of impact.
Kept going. Plowed through it. This wasn't, I'm almost to a stop and I hit you at the last minute. This was hit you and then I'm going to try to stop.
Wow.
Like, I think that's what made him try to stop was hitting people.
Right.
Like, oh, clink, I better hit the brake.
Right.
Wow.
He got off the road and probably didn't even think about stopping yet.
No.
He probably was just like, we'll get back to the road in a little bit. What's through this clearing? Children.
Yeah. Teenagers. The father continued to say, the victim's father, quote, Kimball and his friends had an 8-pack of beer in the car. 8-pack.
What?
They said they'd bought it hours earlier, but only one that wasn't empty was still cold. So basically, they were saying that
they just bought
because it's August in Florida.
Hammering them.
It's August in Florida.
Yeah.
So, they drank 7 of them before the last one got cold or got warm.
Yeah.
In Florida in the summer.
Heck, that's weird.
I don't know about 8-pack. I don't know about in the 80s in Florida what they'd sell. Who knows? So then he also goes on to say, quote, some people are asking what all those kids were doing out there. It was a place that they got together regularly. Rather than get shagged out of mall parking lots, they would go to what they called the spot. They aren't druggies or drinkers. It's only a half mile or so from our house. Okay. It was where kids could go and the cops wouldn't tell them to go away. Right. It's true. When you're a teenager, you're not really allowed to gather anywhere.
Right.
Anywhere. Even if you go... 5, you go to a pizza place and order some pizza. The second you're done eating the slice is like they're trying to get the fuck out. Like you're not treated like a human being or like a customer or like a real person that they care about your opinion.
But what about that other statement there?
Wish we had Yelp when I was a teenager. We would have ruined
these.
We
places.
would have ruined every fuck. They would have had to have been nice to us. Oh yeah, motherfucker. Phone over the goddamn. We will. There's 6 of us.
We will have another ranch.
We will lose you a whole star today. You will be 3 stars by the end of this day, motherfucker.
We will text
Stay back.
Our friends who aren't even here.
Back
they'll
off.
Say it too.
Yeah, I'd have told that. I wish I could have told that to the guy. The why you wasting my cheese guy. This pizza place in high school. There's this fat guy who owned it, and he used to just sit there and stare at us while you eat. You order like 2 slices apiece. He'd just sit there and stare at you the whole time. Like I don't know what he thought you'd do to the restaurant sitting in a booth eating a slice of pizza.
Right.
But one time my friend he just put some grated cheese on his pizza and he put some on and then he like put a little drop more on and the guy bursts out of his chair. Like you heard it like fly back against the table. And he goes, hey guy, why are you wasting my cheese, guy? Frank goes, what? He goes, you wasted my cheese.
I'm eating it.
He goes, I'm just going to put it on the pizza. Like he didn't know how to react to it because it was so crazy. Hey, guy, why are you wasting my cheese?
Well, because I'm going to Yelp review the fuck out of this now.
Oh, man.
Great pizza. Not a lot of cheese in the restaurant.
Less Parmesan sprinkle than I would like. Jesus Christ.
The other quote that they said about this area, though, he said, what did they say at the very first part there? He said something like...
It's a place they all got together regularly.
They didn't expect... What?
What do you mean?
It said that you wouldn't expect them to be there or something like that?
No, not at all. The kid who was there said he didn't think... He knew the car wasn't going to stop.
Right.
And, that's it. No,
it doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
But you said something like they didn't... It's a place where they wouldn't expect to be caught there or whatever. But
it's a place where they won't be bothered, basically. Yeah. It's a spot in a neighborhood where...
That's what it is. It's a place you don't expect a fucking car
to plow into you or cops to bother you or anything like that.
You can't fault them for
arrest.
Being there.
No.
You fault a car for being there where there's no fucking road.
Either way, there was no road there. Right. It's a bunch of people.
They weren't sitting in the road of a 70-mile-an-hour...
Suppose it was a bunch of elderly people having a neighborhood watch meeting at the corner. Would that have been better for you? Would you have felt more bad for them then if they were there? Who cares what the fuck they were there for? Yeah, they weren't. They weren't there like running a fucking heroin spot or anything. It doesn't matter. So, the father goes on to say, one of the boys had a leg almost severed but reattached. He's a soccer player who won't ever play again. One of the girls lost a leg. She was real active in aerobics and track. Oof. Then he's talking about his son, Robbie, this is the kid who died. Robbie was a 3-year letterman in baseball at Brandon High School. He lettered once in basketball. He just finished his freshman year at the University of South Florida. He had a summer job as a waiter. The night of the accident, he got off work a little early. He and his friend went out to the spot. He was just saying his see you laters when he was hit. So he was just leaving. So then he got hit. So that's what happened there. So you got to make those people real people and not just teenagers flying through the air.
Yeah.
So that's who the real person is, a person with a life, and it sucks,
I'll bet the majority of those injuries were them standing between a 70-mile-an-hour car and
another car. Yeah. Hitting the side. Right. Yeah. Sparks.
That's fucked up.
That's real fucked up. Bruce is charged with vehicular homicide.
Yeah.
But he's let out on bail.
What?
He's out on bail. No problem. He tells the press, his family does, that he's in seclusion in his home, or in seclusion near his father's diving camp in Brandon, Florida. He said that, basically, there's an unfounded rumor at the time that he wasn't showing any remorse and was back diving again at the Brandon Swim and Tennis Club, basically the day after the accident, after he posted $10,000 bond. 2 dead people, $10,000.
Unbelievable.
Not enough. That's ridiculous. But his lawyer said, no. He's so distraught he hasn't even been able to eat or sleep. He's in terrible shape. So then
all he can do is drink.
All he can do, I mean, he's putting back.
Yeah.
He's put a few back. It's a tough time for him. This is the best. This is what booze is for.
2,
this is what I'm
3
getting at.
packs.
This is it. The next day, August 3rd, they come up to, they talk about, well, is he still eligible for the Olympics this year? They're still talking about the Olympics. This is what they say about that. This is U.S. Diving released this. Quote, I'm saddened by the news and feel terrible for the families involved. Regarding Bruce's situation as it applies to U.S. Diving, the accident at this point has no effect on his eligibility for the Olympic trials.
Unbelievable.
None. If he took 2 hits of weed a week before he took a drug test,
right.
Completely ineligible.
We got
But
problems.
you want to plow through a field full of teenagers, you know what? Get up on that board, Chief. Wow. So they say he's allowed to if he wants to, but I mean, what kind of an asshole would go to Olympic trials and try to fucking do this? Well, on August 15th, 1988, he is on the 10-meter platform competing at the 1988 Olympic trials, 14 days after murdering 2 children.
2 weeks after killing 2 babies.
Wow. In Indianapolis. This is huge. There's big protests.
Yeah.
Mothers Against Drunk Driving is there. Huge protests. He's fucking diving anyway. He just misses the cut and fails to make the team. Thankfully for the U.S. team, because what would they have done?
Oh, my God. You can't have that.
You can't have that.
No.
But you also, if he made the team, when you shouldn't have let him do the trials, because that would have fucked you if he made it. So, yeah. This is how clueless he is, okay? There's that. In addition to that, in December 1988, he's out of jail, awaiting a trial for vehicular manslaughter for being an asshole. Okay, so you would think he's going to try to really button it up fucking tight here. He instead faces charges when he was reprimanded for throwing toilet paper and a plastic container at a policeman during the celebration that followed a Michigan football game win.
What?
He's throwing shit at a cop.
You at the Michigan football game?
I don't want to see you celebrate shit, number 1. Number 2, not at a football game. Number 3, that cop should have caved in your soft spot with his fucking nightstick. I'd have said Christmas bonus for that cop for doing that shit. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
What a fucking asshole. His teammate here, ex-teammate, a guy, Kent Ferguson, he said, athletes sometimes think they're invincible, especially thrill-seeking athletes such as divers, like we talked about skiers with Nick Hannon and all that. We knew Bruce. We all wanted to help him, but you can't help a person until he decides that he wants to be helped. This is
point.
This is fucking crazy. He's a crazy person now. The arrogance is beyond. I made a mistake one night. He's
never going to ask for help.
No,
because he's perfect in his own eyes.
In his eyes, he's great. He has to be perfect. He must be perfect. It's insane. Honestly, he's crazy. The whole situation's crazy, but not as crazy as the sales, Jimmy. Oh, the sales.
Oh, Michigan sales.
Oh, Michigan. If you happen to be in Michigan in Ann Arbor in 1988, we have got some sales for you. Number 1, get on down. This electronics store looks amazing. You can get you a 4-head VHS recorder, VCR here, with remote control for only $347. Holy shit.
You'll never figure out how to program it.
A CD player. This is a multi-disc one. It's a very
5-tray or 3-tray?
This is a 6.
Wow.
This is crazy.
That's
this was
a
like
big one.
Big stuff here. $249.
A CD player
for a CD player.
Multi-disc is cheaper than a VHS.
VHS, yeah. The 4-head VCRs used to be very expensive.
Hot shit.
A 13-inch RCA color TV. This is a tube TV.
Yeah.
It weighs 300 pounds, and it's the size of your, of a fucking box of cereal, basically.
Is it $2 a pound?
It is $197.
Wow.
For that pile of shit.
Okay.
19-inch with remote control, $237. 25-inch, $397. 26-inch, the big screen, as they're calling it here. 26, literally the big screen, $427.
What?
So not bad. See, the JVC ones, what if you want to get a TV VCR combo? These were new at the time. 20-inch TV VCR combo, $450.
What the fuck?
Are you out of your fucking mind?
That's rent.
27-inch with a VCR, $849.95.
You rich motherfucker.
The fuck out of here with that shit. Holy balls, you got to be kidding me here. I found Fisher, what is this? AM/FM receiver, $250.
Okay.
And then a deluxe audiophile CD player from Philips. It's got a fucking track, multiple, all this shit. $699.95.
A CD player?
For a CD player. Wow.
Is that like the component piece that goes with the stereo?
It's a freestanding, 4 times oversampling. No,
it's just the player.
It's just a player.
You got to plug that shit into the receiver
and
then
speakers.
Have those giant towers.
This is
that
nothing.
thing is how much?
That's $699.95.
Wow.
On sale from $999.
Fuck.
That thing would, I don't even know, 785 track lifetime programmable memory.
Oh.
Like you're going to program fucking 800 songs into your CD player. Who the fuck had ever had time to do that? Anyway,
$1,000, Jay.
$1,000
in 1988.
I gotta go out and make more money. Jesus,
that's $2,000 today.
I just spent 4 months of mortgage on my goddamn CD player. Wow. So that's what's going on there. January 11th, 1989, jurors are being chosen for the trial. At this point, it is now a manslaughter trial. They're doing vehicular manslaughter instead of vehicular homicide. And, he's, one of the jurors here says when they're, questioning him that his daughter is the president of Students Against Drunk Driving at her school. So that's not good. But he did say that he would be able to take all that out of his mind and be able to give a fair blah blah blah. He's a postal worker and an former Air Force sergeant. Yeah. This guy, so he's like, I'm pretty straight shooter here. I think I can do it. Yeah, they're now in court. This is 2 counts of drunk driving, vehicular manslaughter, 3 counts of driving under the influence causing serious injury. Ooh. These are heavy charges. Yeah. So testimony begins, and after a little while in the courtroom, Kimball's attorneys ask for a recess, and they're recessed for about 30 minutes. And when they come back, and they may have an announcement to make that Bruce has decided to plead guilty.
I'd like to not deal with this again.
Bruce has changed his mind.
I don't want to hear the story of what I did. I killed 2 people.
It's bad enough. Yeah. It's pretty bad. I have to look at that car. Still haven't gotten it fixed.
I just sobered up
it's
from
still
that
shimmies.
night, and now I just realized that there's 2 people dead.
Yeah. So he decides to plead guilty. But then the next 2 days later, he's actually changes his plea from guilty to no contest, because that makes it somehow the no contest plea makes it easier for the victims to collect from his insurance company. Okay. Then a guilty plea is a different thing for some reason. I don't know why, but that was the
guilty
legal.
Probably forces your insurance company to sue you, or forces them to sue him.
I'm not sure, but the no contest, I don't know about 80s Florida insurance law, but the no contest plea is apparently a nod to the victims, allegedly, to try to make it easier for them. So this is a way for him to get as little a sentence as possible. Yeah. Basically, I'll do anything to make their lives easier here. Now, one of his attorneys, Lee Fugate, hair a fucking bright, flaming silver. Tinfoil head, this guy is here. He says, quote, Bruce's only reaction was he wanted to take his punishment and he wanted to do what he could to take away the pain and suffering from the victims and his family. He's a courageous kid, I'll tell you that. Oh, boy. He's in court. He's a courageous kid. Yeah. He wants to do the right thing after he did everything wrong and has no choice. He's a courageous kid, I tell you. What the fuck does that mean?
Real brave kid.
It's like courage. That's
so much.
He's fucked and he's backed into a corner.
They do call it liquid courage.
Maybe that's what it is. So the sentencing guidelines here call for a minimum of 7 years in prison with a maximum of 22 years in prison. Yeah. So pretty good fucking swing in there. And either way, a hefty jail sentence. So he's free on bond. He says that basically that when he was free on bond, once they checked him into jail again, they had to check on him every 15 minutes because his attorneys were concerned about self-destructive behavior for him. So he's no contest, and that's that. So sentencing comes around. He's guilty, or he's no contested, we'll say.
No contestant.
No contestant is what he is. His fiancée, Colleen Smith, wrote a letter to the judge here. By the way, you're going to like her a lot less very soon. Wrote a letter to the wrote a letter to the judge, Harry Lee Coe III, who was the judge. He wrote a letter saying, quote, I always got the impression from his silence that he was a self-centered, conceited super athlete. It became apparent to me that he was really very quiet, very modest, and downright shy. They're trying to say this aloof thing that you guys see, that's not really, he's just shy.
Right.
He's just you can tell he's so shy. He's just a real shy guy.
Takes booze to get him out of his shell. A shitload of it.
Shitloads of it. Then he can climb a tower in front of everybody and stand alone in his underwear, in his Speedos, and leap to the fucking pool. But
do amazing tricks.
He's very shy otherwise. Jesus Christ.
Stands on a podium beneath Greg Louganis.
Yeah, and just, I don't understand. So he remains silent during the hearing, but his attorney handed the judge a letter that he wrote to the court. The judge just read it to himself, and it wasn't released to the public.
Did he chuckle?
There, I think he did. He was like, this fucking guy. He was dressed here as a 2.5-hour hearing. The judge said that basically he hopes that this sentence, quote, will scream out to the young people that you must suffer the consequences of drunk driving. We must stop it. You, sir, may fuck off. 17 years in prison. And then 15 years probation after that.
32 years of shit.
He fucking banged him good. Yeah. And then he said, too, later on we'll hear, he was going to give him the maximum.
Really?
Yeah. Like he
22?
He fucking hated this kid. He did not like Bruce Kimball, this judge, at all.
Not jacked about his letter.
No.
Will you let me free?
Yeah.
Check yes or no.
Would you like to tell you what, let's talk about it over some drinks. He was like, I'll drive. What?
I'm buying, I'll drive.
I'm buying, pick you up at 8. Wait a second. This kid's an asshole.
I'm buying and flying. Get in.
Flying. Come on. So
I don't like the way the judge worded that, though. The kids will suffer the consequence. They did, Judge. Boy, did they.
You must suffer the consequences. No, we'll scream out to young people that you must suffer the consequences of drunk driving, which some kids already did.
Right. At least 4.
But we must stop it. This is sentencing. It's 15 years on one count of manslaughter and 2 years on one count of driving under the influence causing serious injuries, and the sentences will run consecutively, giving 17 years. That was the deal. They dropped from 2 counts to 1 and blah, blah, blah. So he also, the judge, orders permanent revocation of Bruce's driver's license.
Never driving ever again.
Seems like a good idea at this point. He was an asshole before that.
He lost
continues
it for a
to be
year
an
sober.
asshole. Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, before he killed anybody. And also stipulated that he had to do community service and all sorts of shit like that. He said during sentencing, Judge Coe, that Kimball did not receive the maximum penalty, quote, because the defense demonstrated no element of intent and harm in the case. He also said, quote, this was not only punishment but a deterrent. He wasn't going to be rehabilitated. He was as rehabilitated as he ever would be. Like, he was fine, and he's an asshole, basically. He wasn't like at the end of a terrible road. He's a dick. So after the sentencing, he talks with his parents and his friends there, and sits in the courtroom crying. And then he is taken away to prison, basically. And they say, though, that press people say that because of his lack of criminal history, that he'll probably eventually be put in a lower security facility. They'll run him down through the ranks. He's not really like
He's not a security risk.
He's not going to make shanks and start stabbing guards, probably. He's just not that kind of guy.
Given time in a system where in an environment.
If you give him prison time in a mop bucket, he could take some shit out. Yeah. Prison wine in a mop bucket, he might fucking careen into a few things. But other than that, he's going to be pretty safe in there. Under the Florida law, he must serve at least 1/3 of his sentence before becoming eligible for release, so he won't be eligible for more than 5 years. The Florida legal system at this point, prisoners are not eligible for parole, but they can receive early release at the discretion of prison officials. That's how Florida worked. Remember, they'd add up their time and all that shit. We've covered this before.
Horrifying.
Coe said that the judge, most prisoners except those who commit violent crimes, sex crimes, or drug trafficking will serve 33% to 40% of their sentences, basically, before being released. Coe said that many are released early because of the federally mandated prison cap, stating that when Florida facilities reach 90% capacity, their populations must be reduced to keep it from a major. That way, in case there was like a major civil uprising, you'd have room for people to fucking put them in there. You need 10% leeway space. So his attorney, This is wow. Buckle your silver belts up here for this one. Quote, this guy has been a media event. If it had been anyone else but Bruce Kimball, it wouldn't have been such a harsh sentence. Okay.
Oh boy.
He got 17 years. Part of the reason is because who he was and what the case had become. By competing in trials, it hurt him.
No.
So he's saying that it was worse that he's famous and an athlete.
No.
We've covered a lot on this show.
Yeah.
You definitely get a benefit.
Yeah.
It's not once in a blue, a guy will be like, I'm going to make an example out of you, but way more often they just get let off with shit.
That lawyer forgets to the part where 2 fucking people are dead.
That's the thing they don't understand.
And 2 legs, 1 leg for sure gone, 1 almost gone.
Yeah, that's
lives are ruined.
There's some frustrating shit here. So then there's a lawsuit here. Several civil suits filed against Kimball, obviously, and that's why he changed his plea to no contest out of fear that 2 insurance companies might evade liability if they could prove he violated conditions of his policy. So that's what it was. If he pleaded no contest, it's not the same as guilty legally. So insurance wouldn't be able to, skirt out of it. So an attorney said, quote, a guilty plea could possibly do that. Screw them out of that. I have no indication either company would do so, but we would like to remove that possibility. An assistant state attorney said the relatives of the victims opposed the no contest plea, despite the possibility that insurance companies might be freed of liability for a guilty plea. They still wanted him to be guilty.
Yeah, because then it's easy. They can sue him, and there's judgments against him, no problem.
So the judge said, but you can get money from an insurance company. Judge said, quote, from a practical standpoint, there's going to be no problem on proving liability. The no contest just buffers your position. It doesn't alter in any way what's going to be proved. And then he says, I'm going to allow the no contest pleas in deference to the victims. I do not think it was wise to run the risk on this. It's somewhat a fine print, but I don't see that the risk is merited. So that's why the judge allowed the no contest plea. Now, one of the fathers, the guy who Bedell's father, who we've talked to before, he urged the judge to impose maximum sentencing. He said, quote, Mr. Kimball chose to drink and drive and then maim and kill. Wow, that's wow, I would say so. He said, up until the last minute, he really didn't consider us. We were prepared to sit through the trial. I don't think he could face up to it himself. He said he was changing his plea to protect the victims, but he was protecting himself too. I don't see any real remorse throughout this whole thing. It's always been business as usual for him. So they're not real fucking thrilled with Kimball, and they're not buying his compassionate bullshit thing here. One of the other mothers whose son had to have his leg reattached here, she said, quote, it's just a tragedy for everyone concerned. We're glad it's over. It's a hard thing to deal with, but drinking and driving has got to stop. I think this case will help stop it. Well, guess what? It hasn't.
No
difference.
Even a little bit.
No difference. It did make lower limits probably and stiffer jail sentences, but people still drink and drive.
And people still die from it.
They still die from it. Uber helps.
Yeah.
That's a helpful one.
It's convenient.
But still people do it. People are idiots.
That's all it is that there needs to be obviously there needs to be forethought and just caring about other people.
A lot of people just won't leave their car somewhere, period.
Right.
That's it.
The benefit is what was needed was a low-cost alternative because taxi cabs were fucking crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people couldn't afford them. Right. So they'd be like, well, I'll risk it.
I got to take a chance.
And then plow into a group of teenagers. Right. Wow.
Uber has changed the game, though.
It really has. Yeah. It's helped a lot for that kind of shit. She also says, the mother, Kimball, when he is out, will help people understand. Something good is going to come out of this, hopefully. People will kind of wake up. Bruce is going to have a lot to cope with. We have got to heal, but he has to live with what he did for the rest of his life. So that's the mother's, at least seems nice. The Raymond Kirker, who played soccer there, he had 4 pins holding his bones together there. The mother said, quote, it looks like a shark took a big chunk out of his leg, but he'll be walking again soon. He's not the type to sit around. He's going to get back and do as much as he can. Jesus Christ, man. The Florida chapter for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, who is a guy named Ron.
That's it.
Ron,
that's the mother?
The head mother against drunk driving is a man named Ron.
Go tell him, Ronald.
So, listen, ladies, I understand you're upset. I understand you're upset. Let's all gather up. Let's not get your panties in a bunch.
Right.
Let's put the Lifetime Network on or whatever you ladies are into. Read one of your red books or one of them fucking things. I don't know.
I know how you all get. They're not going to listen to you and take you serious.
Listen, exchange recipes. I'll tell them all what you're thinking. We're mad, drunk, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I got it. Don't worry about it. You keep...
There's people drinking and driving and you're mad about it. We got it.
Organize a bake sale or something, sweetheart. I got this. That's how fucking...
Me, Ron. I'll take care of this.
Ron's got this, honey. What the fuck over here?
Or is it Captain Ron?
I would love it to be Captain Ron. Well, Captain Ron says, quote, President Ron says, although nothing will undo the violent devastation these families must face, Bruce Kimball must answer for his irresponsible and criminal behavior. Kimball's insurance companies end up paying out $1.3 million to 5 of the seriously injured victims there. His mother, Gail, told reporters about his sentence that it was a, quote, stern and stiff sentence, but she believes her son will deal with it. She says, quote, Bruce has surmounted odds before, and I believe very strongly that he will turn this around and that he will do his best to cope with this, and not only cope with it, but turn it into something where he can restructure his life in a manner that benefits other people. Okay.
I don't know how you rebuild your life from that. That should be end. That's the end of your fucking life.
You should be miserable with yourself. His defense attorney said that they were all upset with the length of the sentence. He says, quote, they had hoped the judge would allow a much shorter prison term than requirements that Bruce share with the public his experiences to inspire others not to drink and drive and have the guts to rehabilitate themselves after an accident. He's someone who can tell both sides of the equation. Sure, when he gets out of prison.
Yeah.
For fucking killing 2 kids, stupid. Jesus.
He's a guy that knows
What the
both
fuck?
sides of the equation. That's not positive.
No, that's how
terrible.
stupid he is.
Yeah.
He knew it and did it anyway. He goes, wow, you know it's terrible when someone fucking plows into you while they're shit-faced.
Right.
And then he does it. This is what I mean. This is the most ironic episode
it
ever.
should never happen in that fashion either. I can see it happening where you drink and drive and then you vow to never do it again. Then somebody gets you.
Then
you know
gets
what I mean?
you.
Sam Kinison.
Yes.
It's never this.
It's not
this
this
is
shit.
awful.
This is
the worst.
This is the worst form of
you don't get
assholery
hit
here.
and then go, fuck it. My
Fuck it.
turn.
You know what? Hey, what do I got to lose? It happened to me.
Right.
I'm fine.
It's like a dad getting
Right?
spanked.
Yeah. Look at me. I turned out all right.
Great.
I turned out all right, didn't I?
Take your pants off.
No. You just told the child to take their pants off. You
You're
didn't do
a
it right at all. Gail Kimball, his mom, on the courthouse steps said, quote, I want to let everyone know how very sorry all of us are for this and all the pain and suffering everyone involved has had to go through. She said, I think it's a very stern sentence, but I'm not in the judge's shoes. And then the father, Dick, we haven't heard much from him out of this.
Oh, what's he say?
He said, quote, I'm extremely proud of Bruce. Not today.
What?
Don't say that now.
No.
Any other time in his life except today.
You should have said that at the Olympics, not today.
I'm extremely ashamed of Bruce. Right. That's what he should have said. We'll be 100% behind him. The judge said that he initially expected to give Kimball the maximum sentence, but he gave Kimball, quote, consideration for throwing himself on the mercy of the court. Mm-hmm. Now let's talk about his fiance, who is got a touch of the asshole in her here. Let's talk about her. Old Cokie is her nickname.
Yeah.
Cokie Smith here, she tried out for the 88 Olympic team 3 weeks after the accident, same time at the trials there. And this was, she was there with him through all this shit. This was a bunch of the victims' families, friends and shit had come to the event with T-shirts reading Remember the Victims and chanting shit at Bruce Kimball as he dives off a fire, and his girlfriend too, because she was in the car.
Right.
So everybody, neither of them made the team. Okay. A little distracted. Yeah. It's hard to make the Olympic team while you're distracted. That takes 100% focus. I feel like.
And she's like, somebody just call me a cunt.
Yeah, I think I heard cunt from an old lady too. Right. That was the thing. Yeah, filthy cunt.
Was that wow, grandma?
Jesus, grandma, calm down.
Whacked my face on the pool.
So they were all there chanting and Remember the Victims T-shirts and protesting. What does Colleen Cokie Smith say about this?
Boy.
Quote, that was so uncalled for.
What?
Says of the behavior of the victims' friends. Quote, I will never ever forget the pain these people went through, and I really feel for them. But if you want to talk about who took it more responsibly and in a more adult way, it was Bruce.
Wow.
Who took it more responsibly? Hold on a second. Bruce handled killing people better than people handled having their loved ones killed. Is that what she just said? That's exact. She acted like we're all in this together. Right. Everyone had the exact same experience. Bruce has moved on. These people can't get over it. That's what she acted like. Are you fucking serious?
Bruce handled killing people better.
In a more adult, more responsibly, and in a more adult way. It was Bruce. Right. Are you serious?
Unbelievable.
Holy fucking shit. That is...
I don't say you.
That's not even silver, man. That's like
that she had a touch of the asshole. She's all asshole.
She is a giant silver asshole. Like we've never heard Dana White say something that fucking bad, and he is literally the Antichrist. We never even heard him say that.
Right.
Vince McMahon would go, Jesus, you don't say that in public.
Take
Good
it
God.
easy, bitch.
I get it. You say it at home in the living room, but not in public. Jesus, there's an image you have to put out. Good God. Jesus, look at you. So, Jesus Christ. Then once he's in prison, she starts giving more fucking quotes. Don't give any quotes. She said that they asked her, was the accident sidetracked your dream here of becoming an Olympic athlete? And, do you ever want to dive again or anything like that? She said, quote, that thought crossed my mind during the Olympics, but I didn't dwell on it. I figured if it wasn't meant to be, it wouldn't happen. Then she takes a left turn. Sorry to use that because, wow. Okay. She talks about the accident, brings it up. She's pissed about it. Not pissed at Bruce.
No.
They
shouldn't have been there.
She recalls finding out that the police had been called out earlier by some neighbors to clear out the kids out of the dead-end street about an hour before the accident.
They shouldn't have been there.
But they didn't, so it's their fault.
She's a dick.
She literally says, quote, this is about the police and the children, quote, no responsibility was taken on their part. But he was the out-of-towner, the Olympic star, and he was going to be the example, and that was that. I don't understand it, and I don't think I ever will. You fucking twat. You filthy, stinking, fucking rancid, malignant cunt. Fuck you, you stupid asshole. Are you kidding me?
That's like driving a car through a living room and being like, they shouldn't have been watching Price is Right.
I mean, they were fucking, it's like midnight. Right. Go to bed already. Jesus. You know what I'm saying? What
go
the
to bed after Jeopardy.
Make your wall sticker. Obviously, I can come plowing through it at any time.
Unbelievable.
It's their fault. No responsibility. It's all, because he was the out-of-towner Olympic star. He's also the guy that plowed into them at 75 miles an hour all shit-faced. That's why. None of the cops did that part.
On not a road.
On not a fucking road. What the shit, man?
What's she talking about?
She said that to a fucking guy with a pen. Like there was a tape recording and he had a pen working, and she was like, "Get this part down."
That's a chick that's super frustrated that she can't see her man.
Also, that's somebody who was a world-class athlete who thinks they're better than everybody, and I don't literally. If those kids would have gotten out of our way, we could have just plowed through wherever we do, because it's obviously our path that matters.
Right.
They shouldn't be in our fucking way. It's the most fucking athlete, I'm good now bullshit. Fucking crime and sports shit I've ever heard in my life.
She's a monster.
She says that she gives credit for her strength to Dick Kimball, who is also her coach in diving. She says, quote, I'm a firm believer in the saying that God never gives you more than you can handle.
Okay.
She hasn't given you anything to handle. No. You're fine. You're fucking fine. You're not in jail. Your kids aren't dead or injured. You have both your legs. None of this shit you're fine.
You were uninjured. Entirely.
Yeah, that's it. She said that she was going to make the U.S. World Diving Team after that. She says, quote, a little bit of me dies for Bruce every day, but at the same time, I have to put him aside and move on. Same time, fuck him. Then she says, quote, for anyone to think that Bruce didn't show any remorse for what happened is a very unfair thing. Bruce has taken responsibility for this, and he does feel horrible. Great.
Oh. Good.
That helps.
I hope it feels worse.
So, let's find find out. He's in prison. His first night in prison, somebody stole his shoes.
Oh.
So he's like, okay.
Now he's barefoot.
So for the entire rest of the time he's in prison, he slept with his shoes on.
Really?
So he never takes his shoes off for the next
gross.
3 years, basically. He always has his
Showers
shoes
with them
on. Yeah, he's sitting there. He has to.
Yeah.
He has to do that. Even like outside, they'll say like he likes to sit in the middle of a field, so he can see everything around him. So you can see all sides coming. It has like, if some people are coming, it's going to be 40 feet before they get to him. He's got head start, basically. Like he's a little guy. Yeah. He doesn't come from a background of like.
That's a great point.
He's a little white collar guy stuck in this shit, and he's famous, and he's a target, basically, is what he's looking at. So he is very fucking scared. He sits in this field, looking around. Imagine that, sitting like, come from the back? Who's back there? Who's back there?
I'm getting my shoes on. I can run.
My shoes are tight. I tied them. Tied them tight. Double knots. So he's sitting there one day, man, and he is just fucking ultra paranoid. Yeah. And then it's usual things going on. These guys are lifting weights, and there's like basketball games. People are yelling at each other and fighting. Guards are yelling at people. And then he hears something he usually doesn't hear. There's just dogs barking. Just dogs coming from everywhere, barking and barking. He goes, what the fuck is that? What is that? And then he sees coming from 40 feet away, it's Bobby Colorado. And he says, how is it you come to arrive here? Look at you. Look at you. Look at you sitting in this fucking chair in the middle of a field like a fucking mook. Look at you. Hey, you were a fucking champion? You're up there with fucking Aidsy McGee over there diving off his shit. I don't know. You're pretty fucking famous. You come in here, you're a jerk off. Look at you. How many beers you have that night? Right. It wasn't good beer either, was it? No. You had a bunch of shit. You had like three Bud Lights, and you were like, hey, let's get more.
A fucking 8-pack?
An 8-pack. You didn't even get a 12-pack. You're like, hey, 8's fine. There's 3 of us. She's kind of light. Me and you will split. We'll have three piece. She can have 2. It's fine. You know what I mean?
5'7".
Get the fuck out of here. Don't you need... This whole thing could have been avoided. You're drinking and partying and girls and all this. Get yourself a nice fucking dog.
That's all you need.
Don't take him in the car with you, though, please. Leave him at home, please. That's one thing. If you got to go to the vet, call a taxi. Dog seatbelts, really. This is a tough thing. But get yourself a nice dog, and, maybe that'll get... And then other prisoners started coming up, and poof, in a puff of dog shit and marinara sauce. He's gone. Bruce is very paranoid now. Sure. Where's the goddamn dogs? They think he's crazy. They give him a psych eval. You know how it goes here. So,
he chewed my shoes.
He chews my shoes. These are my shoes. So while he's in prison, he completes a substance abuse rehab program and earns a sentence reduction under the Florida Controlled Release Program for Nonviolent Offenders Act. He worked at a prison library and tutored inmates as well. He also worked construction, helping to rebuild homes destroyed by Hurricane Andrew, where the prison had dispatched prisoners to do that when he was in low security toward the end here. He also... This is my favorite fucking thing in the world. Worlds colliding almost 200 episodes apart. He makes public service announcement videos to tell about the dangers of drugs and alcohol with who? Yeah. Who is he doing? And he also goes around and speaks at schools paired with a particular person from the videos. Eddie fucking Johnson.
Fast
Eddie Johnson, arrested 100 times and finally for the last crime sentenced to mandatory life in prison for one of the most horrible things I've ever heard a human being do to another human being. Listen to that episode if you haven't yet. Back in the day, Fast Eddie Johnson. He has the crime and sports record for most arrests. Yeah. And he was arrested over 100 times.
And ruined somebody else's life along the way.
Other people's.
Somebody that had nothing to do with it.
Oh.
Not even just a man who had the same name.
Same name. We should redo Eddie Johnson and give it a little more time because we had to really cram that shit in there. Yeah, I would say so.
It deserves.
So if I gave you the first half of this episode and then I said there's going to be another crime and sports alum that he's going to have to hang out with and stuff, the last fucking person you would have thought would be Eddie Johnson of all people here. So post prison plans, he's had extensive drug and alcohol rehab and counseling in 4 Florida institutions. All of his from maximum to minimum security. He says he plans to begin a new life in Illinois with his girlfriend. Got a girlfriend while he was in prison, a woman named Val, and the help of her father, who's a prominent attorney. and will help him. He plans to finish his undergraduate work and also may seek a career in drug and alcohol abuse counseling. That's what he says. He's transferred from the Spectrum House in Miami to another place, a halfway house, to get out here. And Olympic diving coach Ron O'Brien gave Kimball a job as Fort Lauderdale diving team junior Olympics assistant. So he worked with divers aged 6 to 16. Just a couple years ago, he'd be plowing into them with a car going 75 miles an hour. Now he's teaching them to dive. Look at this full circle. He worked as a coach and in a swimwear mail order department at the International Swimming Hall of Fame since June. So he said though that he wanted to. His best thing was he would like to teach kids how to dive, is what he said. He when he gets out, he is offered a job for when he gets out as the summer camp director of some Fort Lauderdale youth thing. I don't know. His friend offered it to him. They said the parents said that he has a knack for teaching the children, and they said they've never got a complaint about him from the kids. Well, yeah,
I know 4 kids that would have a lot of complaints about him.
It's hard to dive with one leg. Is that a problem?
Hard to dive when I can't breathe, when I'm fucking dead.
Yeah, the guy who gave him the job said, quote, "The last 5 years have been tough on him. I don't think anyone will know how difficult it was. And then he says, Jesus Christ, I want private time with the kids. I don't want to feel like I'm being watched or scrutinized." That sounds not great. No good. That sounds terrible. Don't say that. So upon his release, though, like I said, he moves to Illinois. He's got a girlfriend. He ends up getting married, and he'll eventually have some kids here. That coach said that there's no question he's got a definite talent for coaching. He's got a great ability to work with people, especially kids. November 24th, 1993, 6:15 a.m., he is released from a minimum security prison here, and set free. So that's that. Less than 5 years of a 17-year sentence.
Wow.
Not too shabby. Illinois officials will handle his probation, which is 15 years of community service as well. Driver's license revoked for life. Must report to his probation officer monthly. And unless a judge consents, he cannot visit any place where alcoholic beverages are served.
Wow.
So you can't go out to eat.
He can't even go to the Olive Garden.
No, he can't go to fucking Applebee's, this guy. He is... unless he gets a special judge permission, a special Applebee's clearance.
My mom's 50th. It's at Applebee's.
It's at Applebee's. Please.
Can I go?
Can I go? It's at Chili's. I mean, I won't get anything. His father here, Dick, said, quote, "He has been looking forward to this day for a long time. We all have." And, I guess so. The father of the dead boy that we talked about, he says he's not so happy about the release.
He's a little upset.
He said, "Whatever peace and tranquility we might have been able to find is broken every time we hear about Bruce Kimball and how he is doing." We only want to think about and remember our son, Robbie. We don't want to hear how Kimball's going to spend his Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the rest of his life while we spend our Thanksgiving and Christmas placing flowers on our son's grave. Because all in the paper, it was like, oh, what's he going to do now? And all big magazine articles about he's out of prison and he's going to do great. Now, one of the victims here, a girl named Kimberly, was Kimberly Walters at the time. She was knocked off her car so she was injured in this melee. She says she believes that he deserves a chance to get on with his life. She says, quote, "I think he's had time to think about what happened. He didn't purposely come out there to kill anybody." Yeah, but you know what you're doing when you're drinking and you get in a car. Right. You know what the possibilities are. You know, if you do that, you're 1,000% responsible for it.
100%. It's all your fault.
All your fault. You know it for a fact.
No way to blame anybody else.
No.
And my life is ruined.
Yeah, and they always try to say with that shit, like, well, someone could have been killed. Well, people actually were killed here. It's not even someone could have been theoretically killed. Yeah. These were actual dead people. I mean, DUI-wise, we know people who have, gone to prison with no fucking fatalities and the same amount of time, so it's a little weird. So after prison here, he moves to the Chicago area. Like we said, he finished his college degree. He actually did. He coached young divers, got a job as a PE teacher at one of the Illinois' top public high schools. attends AA. He's a gym teacher. Yeah. And
until Google comes around.
Yeah.
And the parents can be like, this motherfucker's teaching you what?
Well, apparently he speaks to young people about his story all the time. So he doesn't hide it. It's he speaks about being clean and sober and doing all that shit. Here, he ends up being a kinetic wellness teacher. I don't know what the fuck that is. What is kinetic wellness?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what kinetic is.
No, his degree is in kinesiology.
He's a kinesiologist.
I don't know what that is either.
I don't know.
He said, I was just going to ask you, what the fuck is that? Since you seem so...
Sounds kinetic.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Sounds like he's a fucking professional of kinetic energy.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Look at it go. Energy. So he's also the diving coach and swimming coach for the diving teams at New Trier High School in Winnetka, Illinois. So, as of 2000, when 2008 came around, he had 3 children with his wife since he got out of prison. So, good for him, I guess. 2002, he wants his driver's license back.
It's forever.
And they go, no.
The sentence is forever.
No. So that's December 2000. That's 2002. December 2004, wants his license back again. He writes a letter to the court.
Oh, boy.
Asking for, I have this letter, actually.
Yeah.
Here we go. Quote, my name is Bruce D. Kimball. I am a recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I have managed to accomplish a number of things in the past 8 years, this is when he wrote the letter, without a driver's license. At times it has been very difficult. I can give you no guarantee that I will never drink again because that's not how it works. He says, my recovery takes place one day at a time. I do know, however, that I can achieve continued success if I live by this creed. I am very grateful for what I now have and will continue to work toward achieving my goals as I strive toward progress rather than perfection. In closing, I respectfully ask that you give my petition strong consideration.
Yeah.
Sincerely, Bruce D. Campbell.
Check yes or no.
And do you like me? Check yes or no. And so this ruling here, they say, what the fuck? Let him drive.
What?
They give him his license
2
back.
years later
In the state of Illinois.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So he that's fine. It's mailed to him December 13th, 2004. He finds out he's getting his license back.
Oh, my God. Chicago's never been more unsafe.
Watch out,
Chirac.
suburbs. Stay out of the goddamn fucking... Stay out of the dead ends, everybody. Out of the cul-de-sacs. The judge said, quote, he submitted documentation that the underlying cause of the problem had been resolved. He does not endanger public safety and welfare. I don't know about that. So, he also, the old prosecutor was asked about, the guy who prosecuted him, and he said that he's not surprised by the decision. He said that Kimball, quote, made a horrible mistake. He pled guilty. He took his sentence like a man and served every day the law required. Apparently, he has since rehabilitated himself and demonstrated to authorities that he can now be trusted to drive an automobile. I'm not shocked. Okay.
I'm not on board.
But in Florida, he's eligible. He's only eligible to apply for a hardship license, like just to get to work and back.
Yeah.
And that would allow him to drive there. If he gets the Illinois license, he can do that. But it would not be legal in Florida. He'd have to do a whole separate thing down there. So
Florida,
it's a fucking mess.
Why is that an option?
That's where he killed those people.
You can't drive out here unless it's really fucked up.
You really need to do something, and then we get it.
Then we'll understand.
Essential activities, head on out. It's fine. Just be careful out here. So, be
careful out there.
Be careful out there. Let's not have any teenagers hanging off the bumper this time. All right, there, Bruce. So
this time, do a little more thinking.
A little more thinking, a little less gassing. So, I don't even know what to think here. I feel bad for the people of Illinois watch out for this. And it's kind of a slap in the face a little bit to the victims' families and all that sort of shit. And, it's bad stuff. I don't feel bad for him like everybody seems to feel bad for him, though. No. He fucked up. He threw something beautiful in the garbage, and that's his fault. And he can go fuck himself for that. And, I feel bad for a lot of people. Jimmie, but not nearly as bad as I feel for Bruce Kimball, a research scientist in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 25 plus years experience conducting science shit, apparently. Bruce Kimball, a company owner and project manager at Handy Mantis LLC, which sounds like it's Frank from Always Sunny's company. This is in Florida there. Bruce Kimball, registered migration agent at Bruce Kimball Migration Services at the Brisbane Airport in Queensland in Australia there. Bruce Kimball, I didn't even know this was a job. This is awesome. Bruce Kimball, wind tunnel model maker at Boeing Commercial Airplanes in Seattle.
That's a great gig.
That's fucking cool as shit, right? He makes
you get to put big airplanes.
He makes wind tunnel. That's a model, so he scales it all down. I'm sure, and that's what he does. He makes the models for
That's awesome.
That's
See
fucking cool as hell. Yeah.
See how it flies.
Oh, I wonder if it's just a computer model of actually what it would be, or if you would actually make a physical model.
If you get to do it,
that sounds fun.
I'm in.
That sounds like Legos, but more fun.
Yeah,
that's good shit here. And finally, Bruce Kimball, an ex-NFL football player here for the New York Giants and Washington Redskins, and he's inducted into the UMass, University of Massachusetts Athletic Hall of Fame in the year 2000. He was drafted in 1979, so they came up at the same time. He was in the NFL while this was all going on with Bruce, so he couldn't even know Bruce Kimball, I didn't know you were black. That's what the general.
That's horrible.
Bruce, I thought the diver was white.
Right.
I guess not.
That's an awfully big diver.
Whoa, boy.
Who's your specialty? The
big
cannonball?
Guy. Jesus Christ. How are you not splashing?
Right.
December 2017 Bruce is a coach at New Trier. It's a high school, New Trier Township High School in Illinois. And he is led into the Illinois Swimming and Diving Association's Hall of Fame.
Unbelievable.
Given a big plaque, a big celebration for him in 2017. In 2019 here, he was, his kids were doing great. They were talking about how he stresses cardiovascular workouts. He makes girls compete in complete rounds of box jumps. One senior said, I'm not very good at those, but I guess it's good for cardio because apparently they won all sorts of shit. One of the kids said, quote, Bruce is making us do cardio to make sure we'd be able to escape a zombie apocalypse if there is one. So
sounds like something a drunk guy says.
Yeah, it does. So keep the keys away from that kid.
Yeah.
So apparently the kids they beat some other team 318 to 226 that weekend in a diving competition. Right. So they're very excited about that. Can't get enough of Bruce Kimball.
We've had enough.
No, we've had enough of him. Well, you know what? Go ahead and get yourself an autographed 3x5 index card. Oh. So that's what's for sale for him. It says like best wishes, and then there's a pic. He, signed it, and that is $88.99 plus free shipping. Not a picture, not a glossy, just a fucking index card like I have sitting right here.
Wow,
with $89.
A glossy of Hope Solo is $50.
Don't you wish? Yeah.
$80 for a piece of shit.
Don't you wish you could fucking scribble your best wishes? $89. Wow. There you go. Fucking A. So
cough it up.
That's Bruce Kimball, and that is an interesting fall from grace there for a bad bad Olympian.
I can't believe his life rebounded so well, though.
So well, yeah, he's fine. Yeah. He's fine because he just had a problem. Yeah. But I mean, that problem was a serious problem that other people didn't quite take as seriously.
You want people to, you root for them to rebound and do great and be okay through their lives. But after they have murdered two people on accident.
You root for them less.
Yeah, it's... I don't care.
You tend to go, gee, I don't know if I want their lives to turn out as good as I thought it was. Yeah. It's hard to root for murderers. No one said, I really hope OJ just really has a good second part of his, because that retirement's a bitch when you're in jail.
It's going to be tough to dismount from this one.
So I'm telling you. So if you like that show, there's a very easy way you can tell us. Get on Apple Podcast, that purple icon, also Stitcher, you can do it. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, following directions. I can't fucking... They keep bothering me to write a review. Doesn't matter what you say. Do that. Also, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com for everything small town murder and crime and sports related. New merchandise up all the time. Always got new stuff pumping in and out of there. Also, that's where you can get your tickets to live shows that look like they're going to be happening.
Yeah.
Hopefully, July in Nashville, but that's sold out here. And then there's a bunch in August. There's a few tickets left for New York, I know. A few tickets left for Detroit. I think Boston sold out completely, but we're doing, so get your tickets there for whatever you want. We'll have more updates for you you right now. We're in the middle of trying to get the Seattle and Portland shows rescheduled. So keep your eyes open for those there. And San Francisco as well. Yeah, I spent today, we were working on Seattle and Portland, so we got that. Nightmare. It's all a nightmare, and it's all going on. Yeah. So what isn't a nightmare is that you can have extra stuff. You can have extra crime and sports. You can have extra small town murder. Mm-hmm. Bonus things. How do you get bonus stuff? Very easy. Just go over to patreon.com/crimeinsports and make a donation. If you make over a $5 donation, you will have access to all of our bonus materials, which we're putting out a pretty hefty volume of it lately.
It's been a lot.
And no bonus episode for Crime and Sports this week, but we had one last week, and we'll have one next week. So I'm going to try to do those about every other week or so. And Small Town Murder, we put stuff up all the time. So check all those out. Do that. Follow us. Oh, also PayPal. If you want to make a one-time donation, PayPal, you can do that using our email address, crimeinsports@gmail.com. That's also a good way to get a hold of us.
Right.
Speaking of good ways to get a hold of us, there's several more.
Yeah.
You can get us. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, and at Small Town Murder on Instagram.
Right.
And thank you guys, honestly, for everything you do for us. We're going to get to shout outs here in one sec, but I have to say something that's hilarious. A couple people tweeted this, and somebody tweeted that I really wish they would live stream Jimmie reading the names and fucking up and James's reaction to them.
Yeah.
And I said, it is two adults sitting in a room. Right. I'm sipping water while a grown man struggles to read. That is not visual
writing.
It's not visually appealing.
No.
I go, audio is definitely the best medium. Audio sounds pretty funny. If you looked at it, you go, you wouldn't be fun. You wouldn't enjoy it anymore.
I assure you, you're getting the best way for this to happen.
You'd be sad for Jimmie, and you wouldn't enjoy it anymore. I'm telling you right now. Trust me.
A grown man not reading his own writing.
Grown man struggling to read his own writing.
It's depressing.
While another grown man tries to be supportive while sipping water. It's not
something a little bit less almost on par. Slightly more upsetting is watching a drunk Olympian drive through a field of children. Right, that's just slightly less, awesome. Slightly more
that's
upsetting.
I love it, Jimmie. You know what? I love it so much. I need to hear it. I'm done. Let's do this. Hit me with like a silver RX-7 in the night. Hit me with the names of the best goddamn people on earth.
This week's executive producers are Casey Crow, Chase Pickenpaw, yep. Heather Ramsey, Jordan Bennett, Jennifer Justice Thompson, thank you very much. She donated both ways. Devon Cleveland, Christopher Kemper, Jared Hohe, he donated both ways. Mama Pushi, which I imagine is them trying to say that my mom's pussy donated to us, which is very sweet.
Your mom's pussy's so nice, Jimmie. What a sweet lady.
It really is a good one. Eric Berg, Laura Doubt, I think so. Tally Sipiol, Chuan Chi Chan, Erica Oakton, Michael Orr, Lisa Brink. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Happy birthday.
Retta Ekstrom gave it to us both ways. She wanted us to say really? Exactly those words.
Gave it to us both ways.
Alex Hopper, Desiree Rose Buckingham Ramirez, Caroline Russell, Tanya Volanek, Taylor Seaman, which is a brutal name to have, but she donated both ways. Or he. I'm not going to judge.
Seaman both ways.
Thank you. Taylor Bean, Larry Butterfast and his sweet stash, Stephen Rude, and that is our executive producer.
Thank you, guys.
Other producers this week, Andrew Welmer's happy birthday, Savannah Storms, Jenny Murdoch, Joanna Orlando, Zach Nene, or Neen. I don't know. Brandy Eastland, Nuhu Ibrahim, I think. Kay Clark, Doug Gerard. Okay, here we go. Now I've got 6 pages of yes, I can. Keith Rashad, Jessica Archote, Lindsay Redmond, Heather Walter, Megan Peacock, Amelia Penko, Alexandra Lemur, Nick Bowers, Portland Small, Kendra Moran, Nick Laterno, like Mary Jo.
Like Mary Kay?
Yeah, Mary Kay. Yeah, Mary Kay, right?
Yeah.
Not Mary Jo.
No. Mary Jo's Buttafuoco.
Right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Mary Kay was the one that married her kid. Or
the student, yeah. Had a kid with him.
I think Nick took Mary's last name. Richard Anthony Morris, Liam Smith, Cindy Gallagher, ASDF, which I think somebody just rattled those out on the keyboard.
Probably.
Alexandria Anderson, Carlos G, Lauren Fink Biner?
Fink Biner?
I don't. Probably not.
Let's hope not.
Meredith Jarchow, Rosie Goodison, that doesn't seem right. Allison Snyder, DCL Spencer, Sean Place, Amanda Krushinsky, Kim Struck, Brad Marmara, Jennifer Gunleman Thompson, Tim Root, Malcolm Williams, Mindy Bond, Michael Carfunkel. Big Tony Kintz, Lisa Chalice, Anthony Palmer, Jason with no last name, Miranda McGuire, Sam Ransom, Alexis DeVries, Tanya Cummins like Dan, Eric Fedornich, Paul, I was so jacked. Paul Rutkowski, Jade 313, Ren Jager, Christine Alberan, Bonnie McCrae, Thomas Tipple, Lindsay Fabella, Katie Dench, Paul Boyle, Silly Lily, Aiden Dent. Oh, it's Aiden Dench's birthday. Happy birthday, hey. Aiden. Kelsey Seaman. Did I say that? No. Yeah. Oh, it's a different one. It's two people named Seaman. Robin Robinette, Jess Serrano, Aaron Todd, Desiree Sanders, Josh Piper, Kimberly Bonnell, Chris Voss, Hunter Rafferty, Britton McLemore, and Ashley McLemore. Melissa Dubauch. Oh, damn it, debauchery. Dubauch Correa, Vid Sankar, Kayla Hunsberger. I think I said Josh Piper. Moving forward to the next page. Fuck. Lisa with no last name. Ant with no last name. Barry Siegel. Philip McRevis. Shay with no last name. Cindy Marshall. Dorete Lansberger. Kick. No. Yeah. Dorete Landfart. Jammin with no last name, Jennifer Wild, Caroline Larkamp, Barbara Livingston, Billy Lionheart, Kyle Williams, Daniel Baglian, Rachel Job, Libby Huggett, Brad Dancer, Jamal Jeffrey, Chris with no last name, Austin Farrell, Lauren Johnson, Kyrie Elisa, Nikki McDonald, Nick Castle, Tegan Bailey, Miranda Miller, Andrew Manning, Elizabeth Freeman, Laura Woolmore, Beverly Frazier, Claire Frederick, Heidi, no, what is that? Helio? Bodega, oh, what? Hello, Bodega Kitty. Nailed it. Got it. Go. Fucking Alex Eisen, Morgan Graham, Morgan Eberly, Kelsey Huff, Lauren Painter, Lisa Dunn.
It's not a hard name.
Yeah, no, it's not. Lee Brown and Charfaros Mardweed. No. Nerweed. Pamela Dugan, Cindy Wagner Douglas, Don Peterson, R. Murphy, Megan Manning, MJ, Taylor Whitford, Natasha Markin, Emily Johnson, Alyssa Tyler, Samantha Anthony, Amanda Preuss, I think, Nikki Ansley, Doit. What did I do? Do it, Destiny? That's not right. What? I don't know what I'm doing. James Black, Layla Shack. Shake. S-H-A-I-K. It's not that difficult, Whisman. Michaela Patricia, Andrea with no last name, Teresa Sternagel, Joanna James, Drew Bittner, Tatum Wyam, Allison Libhart, Rose Venata, John King, Cabe, Reverend John Gilliard is back in town.
Hey,
thank you, sir.
Sarah, good Reverend.
Sarah Ford, Danielle Marshall, Christina Allen, Yami Leff, Victoria with no last name, Wendy Hill, John Jackson, Rachel Cratched, Aaron Rowe, Marina Maynor, Zoe Graham, Nicole Schobel, Jennifer Carlisle, Kim Oliver, Diane, that's what that is, Diane Hazen, Sam Cruppet, Terry Stern, Miza Mazie Ahira. I'm uncultured and stupid, and I apologize. Lara Cronin, Andrew Sweet, William Hunt, Autumn Rice, Kat Rhodes, Zach Jones, Sammy with no last name, Kendra Nash, Cole McElroy, Chris P., Joseph Simmons, Jennifer Weathers, Matt Manley, Michelle Bellinger, Allison Rickey, Kevin Douglas, Graham Goodman, Dallin Tinkman, Cammie Wright, Meg Oldfield, Lisa Newberger, I think. That's a U, not a V.
Hey.
John Cunliffe, Becky Youngblood, Nicole Ray, Jane Baston, Sim with no last name, Raleigh Vogan, Blue with no last name, Molly Dubate, Daubit, Kaylin Chance, Austin Presley, Tyler Harrington, Stephen Gavin, what did I do? Karen Burnett, fuck, Matthew Miners, Andrew Hill, Tyler S, Elijah Chavis, Ethan W, Hillary Vaughn, Don MacArthur Harmer, Jessica Levitt, Kenzie McCarthy, God fucking Jeff Wigan, Frankincense Sanchez, Catherine Hunt, Nicole Wilson, Jesse James Horman, Joshua Fields, Elias Ratama, Melissa Turner, Maggie Remley, Adrian Nibla, Danielle Atherton, question mark, April Washington, Taylor Beams, Mark Young, Tori Betty, Tremaine Lasley, Andre Hashem, Jiggly Bean, Elizabeth Reed, damn it, Mark Young, Andrew Santos, Shay with no last name, Elizabeth Reed, I said that, Racy with no last name, Callie Needhammer, the Bolero family, thank you very much, Matt Hellman, Allison Canty, Krista Hall, what? Jesus. Jesus Sanchez, I'm sorry. Katrina Mosley, Kyle Rashun, no, Roland, Evan Cunningham, Chris Ferrara, Michaela Miller, Joseph Worth, Russ Edmondson, Coulter Drazel, Kat Hayden, Mitchell Miser, Mike Letcher, Trevor Williamson, Stacy Durham, Jay Bonney, Logan Wiki, Sydney Keppel, Kirsten Hale, Jennifer with no last name. We are so goddamn close, you guys, I swear. Kate Jones, Connor Heffernan. Yeah. Julie Watt, Oliver Thomas, Don Ewert, Emily Shea, Gemini, Pantoja, Joseph Hoft, Matt Burare, Ryan Ellison, I'm so sorry, Ryan Eliason, Kyle Coley, Michelle Brown, Rendell, Christina Struzzi, Devin Axtman, Stephanie Tucci, Renee with no last name, Charmaine with no last name, Christine Tatoni, Brian Weber, Corbin Nip, Oliver Kikich, Lisa Schultz, Jacob. What? McReady, Trey Swanson, Michelle Warner, Cindy Whistler, Frank with no last name, Kira with no last name, Adam with no last name, Tia Norris, Grant Sackett, Brian Whiteman, Shania Igelisinski, Melissa Gilbert, Claudio Gonzalez, Kelly McGill, Puckerbrush Enthusiast, Robin Stambo, MPC, whatever that is, Ethan Coleman, Christopher Young, the Impish Artist, Tate McLean, Julie Webster, David Meyer, Leland Learn, Joshua Peterson, Dave Kerstetter? Yeah. Or George Alston, Bob Miles, I think I wrote, Mike's, I don't know what I did. Sonia. I don't know what I did. I don't. Sonia Sony. Oh, no, that's Sonny. What?
His man's name is Sony.
I don't know. Sonny Johansson, Erica with no last name, Matt Tolich, Brandon Danziger, Christy Knight, Lisa Williams, John Oswalt. No, that's Josh Oswalt. Eric Michael Grant, Moza with Noza, Devin Radloff, Amy Sorensen, Logan Henneman, Charlie Burr, Stephanie Vela, it's Chris Peters, Jason Shocks Little, Naja Wallace, Dustin Sefton, Kristen Benishek, Jen Alberti. Fuck. Dingo Man 2004, McKenna Misfelt, Maggie V, Stan Zatoski, Michael Potter, Ellen Bubeck. Robin Adams, Sean Hogan, Lori Scarpa, Jim Comiani, Ryan with no last name, Ariel Connor, Brendan Fedor, Ashley Mello, Philip Nidecker. Oh, that's Phil Nidecker. He's a good dude. Michael Lockwood, Joshua Childers, BDA Zox, Jack Byrne, Kim with no last name, Lawrence with no last name, Teo with no last name, Linz with no last name, Alex Sanders, Oh no, that's Alexis Sanders. Robert Allen, Cam Lewis, Katie Lewis. That's what it is. Suzanne Lewerson, Mary loves Jimmie and James. Or is that Marie? It's Marie.
Well,
that's
thank you, Marie. We love you back.
Jonathan Hamos, Kyle Davis, Ariana. No, it's Araya Ariano, Wizard of Problem Town. Jan Miller, Kathleen Bailey, John Erickson, Dapple Apple, Jared Pitts, Zoe White, Eric Bogan, Amy Schuer, I think, Patrick Gordon Crowell, Caton Wilson, Elise Flores, Phoebe Taylor, Joseph Grinkowitz, Andrea Brown, Katie Pickett, Chris with no last name, Emily Tremblay, Elizabeth Holobar, Jesus, Penny Carver, Chantel Shakes. Shit. Michael Smith, Maggie Lacey, Lauren Harmon, Andrea Roberts, Samantha Clark, John O'Poole, Nicole Jason, Aisha Sekiro Locino, Cree Foster, Robert Sirwaka, I think, Michael Coco, Jared Hohey. I said that in the first ones. Bobby Hamburger. No, it's not. Morgan Renee, Evan Pilk, Taylor Cassell, Alex Elliott, Tommy Craig, Connor Orman, Matt Karuk, Emma Fiant. Gant, I don't know what I did. I apologize. Reggie Noble, Elizabeth Robbins, David Albury, Yuri Nader, Danny Spang, Devin Williams, it's Danny Zitch, Kristen Benishek, Deborah Bird, Laura Dowdit, Shane Stikelether.
At least Redman is donating to us. That's good. I was happy to hear Reggie Noble there.
Sweetheart of a man, that Reggie. Deborah Bird, I think Chris with no last name. Allison Varnarsdale. Jared Birch, Paul Gruber, Tracy Renninger, Aaron Gerber, Adriana Knight, A.B., Natalie Stadelman, Emily Cleaver, Ashley Vio, Gary Howard, Colorado Kate, Emily Tackett, Robert Kennedy, Laura Gardner. We said that last week. It's probably not that. There's another one. Danielle Schaub, Aaron Hudson, Michael Griggs, Reagan Shalkley, again, Trey Valkenar, again, Steven Seigel, Peyton Meadows, James Seltzer, Shannon Russell, Amanda Knight, Jackie Sukup, hang in there, Jackie, Ron Hildebrand, Ian Britt, Sydney Oakes, Angelina Serrano, Jeremy Henson, Joshua West, James Martyr, Deanna Grimes, Amy McDonough, Robin Anderson, Alexander Green, Kimberly Hobby Studios, Jacqueline Donaldson, Amanda Blomgren, Chad Noss, Alex Hopper, John Erickson, Lindsay Sage, Jennifer Prater, Taylor Rowlandson, Thomas Smith Volstead, Amos Rodriguez, Ryan Sargent, Carl Kirschner, Jennifer Prater, I said it, Elizabeth Freeman, Mary Kip Sousley, Christopher Hughes, what is that? Maddie Ladmiralt, I think. No, it's just Matt. Fuck. John Joyce, Ashley Baker, Jake Antonioni? What? Can't be right.
Antonioni.
Holly Hoffman, Janice Hill, Lucy, Stacy, Vincent, Karen, Andrea Webster, and goddamn it, all of our Patreon donors. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Yeah. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
You're honestly. Really why we do it.
You are. Thank you. It means the world to us. And got to tell you, a lot of you guys, some of you guys are assholes.
Yeah.
But most of you aren't, and you know who you are. I'm talking to you guys right now. Yeah. You know who the assholes are. It's not you.
You've talked to them.
It's not you, but you see them.
You've interacted.
You know who they are.
You know they are.
They're around. Honestly, thank you guys so much. Jimmie, where can they get a hold of you if they want to find you?
You can find me at Whisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys for everything. What about you?
You can find me at Jimmie P is Funny, or just copy and paste my name from the show description and make it easy on yourself. Do that and have fun. Follow us. Do all of that happy horse shit. Listen to Small Town Murder every Thursday. Listen to P.S. I Hate This Movie every Friday. Live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.